going to find out that jumping on is a lot easier than jumping off. Wow!
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know. The air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad.
Let's fire it up. Hey, guys, what's going on over there? Am I only hearing myself out of one ear? Is that you? Is that me?
I'm good over here.
I hear you in both ears.
I'm coming through on one ear there. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school, and I'm, like, sitting on it.
Just edit it out in post.
I cut it. I cut the. No. I can hear myself.
You like the speckles?
Yeah, I like that. I'm sorry, dude. I'm a stick. The sound on this thing comes through fucking great, but. Oh yeah, we'll be editing on this deal, but yeah, let's make it official. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome again. Here we are. We're back at it. Fucking ThinkStopper. This is episode 20. Boo bam. We had a good one, 19, which is about ready to go up with Yoshi Obayashi. Man, it was kind of sad that he had to boogie because we were really getting into it.
We were just getting deep, and we untouched. There was so much left that we didn't get into with him that I really wanted to get into.
Yeah, that was one of the things is we started open. He's supposed to be back in what, May or something like that. So yeah, we're gonna have him back on, but we're gonna paint that one up all nice and nice liking stuff. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming back, dude. I've been busy. Your boy Trez has been busy. Been doing some comedy. Mikey, he's my new manager. He's been getting me booked on gigs. So, you know, we might have something that might have to ThinkStop, the agency over here, get you booked.
Mikey McGuire,
yeah. But yeah, Mikey Slyman, boo bam, thanks.
Oh, no, man. It was fun. Yeah, I seen the post go up, and I was like, oh, man, hit up Trez for sure on that.
Yeah, that was a fun show. That was down at the Griffin. That was good. And then the show that just recently ended, The Nerd with Tom Garland. He's actually, we're going to have him in here here soon. I think the next podcast.
Yep.
But Tom Garland, you know, he does a lot of work with RVD, and he also did work with that's Rob Van Dam, you know, former wrestling heavyweight champion of the world. The Real Damn Deal or whatever. I forget that.
Yeah, but it was the Real Damn Deal.
Yeah, and then Tom Green, did a bunch of shows with him over at Bally's and stuff like that. He's helped running that room and stuff. But we're gonna have him on. But he had that show with the Nerd and Battle Comics. Haven't been on those shows. That's been really fun here in town.
Got a little heated.
Last night Battle Comics got one of the comics. I guess he wasn't too familiar with the format. The format at Battle Comics, guys. It's where they have 4 comedians and the host, who's also a comedian. So a total of 5 comedians on stage, and we're supposed to riff on ideas about topics. And usually we'll use like a little material to kind of kick things into gear, or your punchline kind of fits into a certain place, that kind of thing. And one of the deals that happened here was the comedian, and I'm not going to name his name because there's no sense in doing all that, but he started just going like right into like full bits and was like the act out and all that stuff. And so the game that's played here is you take your shot, you know, you're fucking riffing, you're doing, so this dude's just kind of really going at it, you know, he's treating it like he's speed dating. You know what I mean? He's just fucking... And so I'm just throwing in like a little snippet, a little word here and there and stuff like that. And apparently that was I was stepping on the dude's punchlines.
Turning the flame up. That was the boiling point.
Yeah. So then when the host Tom Garland called him out, he was like, "I thought you were supposed to be giving me punchlines and jokes and shit." And he was like, "This motherfucker's stepping on my shit," and I was like, "Oh!" And this is all on stage.
Yeah,
It's
this is
like
during the show. That's
this is
so
like
funny.
40-some people, just eyeballs, just like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And I was just laughing, because I have no emotions. I'm fucking dead inside. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not anything I gotta fucking be sweating. Anyways, it's not gonna launch my career.
Still gonna sleep good tonight.
I was talking about fucking playing fucking sock puppets with aborted fetuses. You know what I mean? Like, I was just throwing stupid shit out there, like, and I was talking about this, Nevada is great because we can carry a gun and just shoot you in the face, the stupid shit, whatever. Going for the shock value because the crowd was kind of dead. But this dude was like, he was getting all up, offended and shit. But, whatever, what have you. At the end of the show, we're smoking outside and and I was like, "Hey, man, I didn't mean to make you upset in there." I was like, the game was fucking get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like fucking the game of smear the queer. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
can you say smear the queer in 2019?
I don't think you can.
Well, you know what? For everybody that's ever listened, anybody that's ever played that game growing up, you know what I'm saying? It's a fucking free for all.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like someone tried to tell me you couldn't call fucking Jungle Ball, and I was like, why? And they're like, because black people play. And I was like, motherfucker, that's fucking the game. Basketball with no rules. It's jungle ball.
The jungle's crazy. The jungle's where you don't want to be. Yeah.
I was like, you guys are just spinning everything, dude. So yeah, but I got some other shows coming up too. Sorry, I don't. See, here's the thing. It's like the podcast. Like, we really don't have like any like sponsors. Actually, we're soon to be getting a sponsor, and but
he's selling out.
No. We're all about reaching out into the community and shit. No. You know what I mean? Oh, here's something reaching out in the community. We just before we get into our guests and everything here and stuff, but we all went out and we went to go get a bite. We went to this place here in Las Vegas called
The Good Witch.
The Good Witch. And it is it's over on Hoover
and Las Vegas Boulevard.
Hoover and Las Vegas Boulevard. It's called The Good Witch, and they do sandwiches, and they have some like breakfast sandwich deal, and they had like some other things, but
just square bread sandwiches, basic stuff, but they're good.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, Mike and I had the
it's called the patty.
Yeah, we had the patty, which was like their version of the patty melt, where they had it was like chopped beef on there, right? It's like a patty. It was kind of chopped. That was very well seasoned, but they had it was smoked cream cheese, onions, and then I had a little side of Thousand Island, which was kind of like their Thousand Island was kind of like that that dipping sauce that you get with like the bloomin' onion. There was some horseradish in on that deal.
Nice. Yeah, they kick everything up a notch. Everything was like just something different.
I enjoyed it. I am a traditional Thousand Island guy, so to call it Thousand, I was kind of, but it was good. I liked it. And then they had some pretty good tater tots. I mean, they're tater tots, but they were good. James, what'd you have?
I had the it was their take on like a BLT, but they like roasted the tomatoes. It had mixed greens, and they put cheese and bacon grits like directly on the sandwich, and it was delicious.
See, that's how I like to cook though. Like every ingredient gets treated like a main dish, and then it gets put together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't stand it. Like when they go to cook, dude, and they're like, just because you're doing like beef tips, you know what I mean? Like you didn't fucking. Sorry, yeah, sorry, my bad. Well, sorry, hey, I'll get there. But you got to season the meat first. There's layers.
Yeah,
there's layers to the deal over here. But speaking of layers. I already set a layer. I already set a tone for my fuck up with the guests over here. I called you by your middle name on the deal, but so real quick before I get into this and our guests and the topic at hand today of we're gonna kind of cover a few things with like GMOs and just other food roundabout, food related stuff, things that I'm passionate about. I think we're all passionate about, but actually we got some wine here we're gonna discuss, but I threw out a little challenge over here on Facebook because I like to discuss things for and or against, and it's not anything to be antagonistic, but I think good discussion. I think talking about stuff, especially when you disagree, you tend to find out a lot more about the situation than you do just having one-sided of opinion. And I think that's the way things really work in the world, that progress things instead of censorship or just being in an echo chamber. So I throw it out there, and I said, I gave a whole list of stuff. Hey, is anybody wants to talk? They want to educate. They want to discuss. They want to dispel, or they want to just come over here and not outright, or I don't want to say agree, but agree to disagree or whatever. I threw it out there. And our guest today was somebody that answered the call. And there's been a few people, and we're going to be lining everybody up. But this is the first of those people, of everybody that's here, and he's a gentleman by way of Pittsburgh, or just near Pittsburgh, south of Pittsburgh, a fresh comedian, let alone fresh to the Vegas scene over here. When I say fresh, oh yeah.
Yeah,
really, really. Hey, but you know what? That doesn't matter about shit, because it's all about what you're passionate about, what you have life experience about, and he is a gentleman that works in and out of the restaurant scene as well as myself up until last 8 years of my life, but. Boo bam, guys. We have, and this is where I fucked off. I called him James, but it's Jesse James over here. So, and actually, we're gonna go third. We're gonna go serial killer here, but it's Jesse James Graft, everybody. Yeah, this way they can find you on the old deal.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get like 40 Facebook ads of like creepy people.
Hey, that's good.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean,
some people pay extra for that.
Ooh.
As I say, creepy people's like they're the most honest people, because I mean they're really putting themselves out there,
Oh yeah, no holds barred.
But sometimes it's just too much, the mystique of like, some shit needs to be kept.
Yeah,
some shit needs to be kept.
Like if you're a furry or a weeaboo, please step back.
Oh, can you enlighten me on a weeaboo? Because I don't know what a weeaboo is.
I know what a furry is.
I know what a furry is. I don't know what a weeaboo is.
So a weeaboo is
Bam! Glad to have you on there, Jesse.
So a weeaboo is if you're really into like Japanese anime, but you take it too far, like you just full on, you're doing Naruto running in high school, or you take it to the point.
I've seen those.
Yeah, like if you take it to the point to where you've taken this seriously, and you also are not respecting actual Japanese culture.
Is it? Well, isn't it like those people? Aren't there those people that fucking try to run through the walls, like what was it, the fucking, I don't know, the geek fucking movie Harry Potter, like.
Oh yeah.
Isn't there like people? Is that kind of like the same shit? Where,
no. Kind of like.
Because they're like believing it, like it's gonna, like there's like you see those kids that they act like they're gonna go Super Saiyan by screaming.
Yeah.
Is that the weed?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be that vein.
Okay, all right.
Sounds like something Buckaroo Banzai would be into, going through that 8th dimension.
We gotta shout out that movie, because that was the weirdest shit.
So we're in the Good Witch. I'm enjoying my patty melt, and I look up and I see an old school 1980s movie, and there's no way we can find out what this movie is. And we have a pretty stellar cast. We have Peter Weller. We have John Lithgow. Yep. We have
Jeff Goldblum.
And Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, there's a handful of like some real deals in this joint, and it is one of the cheesiest movies. So it's The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Across the eighth dimension.
Across the eighth dimension.
I'm glad you kept that on your phone because there's no way I could remember that.
Yeah, and he was a businessman, entrepreneur, doctor, rock star, musician, inventor, aviator, billionaire a million times over.
This guy got Tony Stark smoked.
Links up with the Hong Kong Cavaliers in a battle to death between evil red aliens and good black aliens from Planet 10.
Planet 10.
Planet 10,
is that
bro.
Pluto or is that just?
I don't know.
Dude,
Well,
10th
but
planet.
it's-
They're jiu-jitsu experts, bro.
Yeah.
I got to tell Eddie fucking Bravo. I got to tell Eddie Bravo, I'm like, dog, dude.
Is that where they got it from?
No, it's supposed to be from like from Nibiru and all the, like the fucking.
That's funny.
The ancient aliens, 10th planet jiu-jitsu, like it's fucking.
Dude, the write-up, like I said, you just got to...
It's outside of the fucking solar system or whatever, like the whole Nibiru thing. But, dude, that it was from the 10th planet?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a fucking Planet 10.
Yeah, good, between evil red aliens and good black aliens from Planet 10.
From Planet 10.
Led by demonic dictator John Warfin.
Yeah, dude. That was John Lithgow. He played that.
Yeah, he plays a good madman. He looked like... That's what drew me into the movie, was like him
Yeah.
just running around with... I was like, who's that guy with the hair? But I didn't realize it was a
Fucking Harry and the Henderson.
30-year-old fucking John Lithgow.
30-year-old.
Or 30 years ago, John Lithgow.
Yeah, it's... I don't know.
Might have
He's
been
still
30.
probably...
He was
he
probably
looked-
30 then,
yeah,
too.
That's a great movie, guys. Look that shit up, dude, because I'll tell you what, it was entertaining with the sound off. I could only imagine. I mean, I was just picking apart the fucking makeup and the costume design and shit like that, but that's one of the things that we used to do when I was kids. We would stay up fucking late. Actually, it's kind of weird. Like, I inherited watching, like, this kind of behavior from my uncles. Just that's what like they did, but then like it turned into like kind of a drug thing. But I used to fucking stay up late when we were like coming down from acid, and we would watch the B movies.
Yeah.
Like you'd watch like and we would just sit there and roast the B, like just have just dial out. And like in Spaceballs, this was like after Spaceballs, but you'd always make fun when they captured their stunt doubles and shit.
Yeah.
Like we're watching movies where like it was obvious, like it was like a dude with the beard and fucking hair driving a dress that was like the girl on the scooter, like like some of the clips they look out there. It was also it was as bad as like in The Godfather when with that scene where fucking James Caan goes to fucking whoop old boy's ass and he's throwing punches that are like 2 miles away and the guy's like, yeah, I mean just terrible B movie stuff. That's what this movie was. When I was watching this and I was like, holy shit, dude, I didn't even need acid for the fucking to get down and boogie with this. But so yeah, sorry, away from the good witch. Jesse wanted to get into a little bit about food and talk about some of the stuff about GMOs and stuff. And sadly, Jesse fell victim of the. We're a little old school over here. We're running off of running off of cell data. We're not patched in.
No, we've had
completely
problems
yet.
with Cox here, and it's like I've been dealing with them with emails back and forth, and just tell them come pick up their shit. I need to find another internet provider.
Oh, it's so tough because Cox is like the best.
I know.
No.
the thing.
I got one. I was trying to get them at my place, but they don't service my apartment complex. I will get on my phone later and I will look them up before I leave tonight. But they're like way better and way cheaper for what you're paying for Cox.
Really?
You can get way faster.
Well, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. One of the things, there was a company out here called Keon, and they were dialed in. What are you over here, cupcaking?
No, there's a live chat going on. I jumped on a live chat, but I'm about to. I didn't want to ignore it.
Anyways, yeah, dude, they had like super fast, like T1, T3 kind of fast,
Yeah.
if you remember those back in the day. But I don't know if that's how it works now.
I think it's pretty. I think if they dumbed it down a lot, I don't know if you really need all. Well, I mean, unless you're running like a major office with a major network. I mean, we have when we're up and running, we have like 2 or 3 actual. You know what I mean? Things running.
I just remember from like the gaming days. You know what I mean? Like you wanted to
Yeah.
stream that went so fast because, You didn't want any of that glitching and shit, but
Yeah, you didn't want to get lagged and get killed.
yeah, fucking
Hate that.
So, yeah. So one of the things that happened was, we don't have that stuff, and he had a lot of his stuff linked. He was gonna pull up.
Yeah, I was being really lazy. Instead of taking notes, I was just like, oh, I'll just copy and paste the hyperlinks, so into notes.
But that's probably a good thing, man. This way you're not really holding to that because.
Got to wing it over here at ThinkStopper.
That's kind of the thing, dude. So you fell right into our trap. No.
Oh no, it was a setup all along.
So when it comes to, I guess I'll put it out there. When it comes to GMO foods, I'm not a GMO guy. I'm not into genetically modified organisms as per se. There's a big misconception by a lot of people on what a hybrid and selective breeding and stuff is, eugenics, if you will, versus GMOs. So me personally, when it comes into GMOs, there's a lot of stuff that they're doing that is having adverse effects, and it's problems with multitude of things, and it's also coupled with the pesticides that they're using. But I think, in some cases where they're taking bacteria and molds, and they're taking DNA that's from like a spider and or a frog, or even up, I guess, to other mammals, or like mammals as in like goats. They're using like certain parts of stem cells and stuff to actually make a tomato or corn, and there has been issues, there has been problems, there has been stuff that has been shut down because of findings, and a lot of the stuff that has been found safe when it comes to GMOs have limited, search or research into it. It's usually about 90 days, and there was a study that was done in France where they did, I think it was like 180 days, and the tumors that the mice started growing, and then also like the loss of like fertility after like third generation or something like that. But
Jesus.
Yeah, and one of the things, and it got shut down, and everybody's like, oh, well, they're just doing, like, all the hit pieces come out and stuff. So my whole thing is the proof is in the pudding, and when you gotta use your money and your political and your media, social media influence to change things or to prevent things from going out, that's where I have an issue, and that falls into with GMOs. They're very much glorified. They're put out there, and just like in a lot of like with vaccines, there's a lot of misconceptions that like goes on, and so my stance is I'm not 100% against it, because I understand up to a certain point we might need to do something that would preserve in case we do completely shit the soil, we do completely fuck up the water, we do, there might need to be something there in place. But like the stuff that we're doing now, I don't think is working.
So how long do you think GMOs have been on the market? How long do you think you've been consuming GMO foods?
Well, as in, what are we talking about here? Like, so are we getting into the Franken foods when I'm talking about? Like when they're splicing, they're actually creating.
They've been on the market now for some time. How long do you think?
Well, I know that a form of wheat has been used. It's a GMO wheat it's got to be about 48 years now, 46 years from just the GMO wheat. So I could probably see going back ultimately when they were doing stuff, I could see it probably happening since like the 20s and 30s.
No, that's actually not the case. The GMOs that are currently on the market, which, by the way, GMO vegetables that you buy in the supermarket, there are 10. That is it. They are the most heavily regulated on-market industry.
What? Wait, yeah,
What do you mean? What's 10? What's the number 10 represent?
There are 10 different GMO variety foods that are being sold in grocery stores.
Hold on 1 second. The pop guard keeps
yeah.
No, it keeps bouncing on the mic.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you
I
go.
kept, kept hearing a tap.
Well, it's
Yeah,
funny. We
so-
just threw that on there as a test, but yeah, that's funny.
All right, so we just found the curve on that one.
Yeah, there you go.
So there's 10 no. So what I'm getting at, all right, I'm talking about not like the company or the variety, but the technology that's been in use, that's been in play. I mean, I could see it been.
It's been developed longer, but the actual like you buying it in the supermarket has only been in the last 20 years.
Oh, well, see that I know for a fact, and I can't think of the name of because it's been a really, really long time since I've had any of these discussions. But the wheat that they use, it's a medium height stock that they used, and it was the first GMO that was made and is used in mass production for basically making white flour and stuff like that. But that's been out since like 72.
Are you sure it wasn't like selectively bred?
No. This is actually GMO wheat, and it wasn't until, it wasn't until we start getting in, I think, with the heavily use of like glyphosate that you start seeing the double whammy. Because one of the things with wheat, people don't. I mean, you talk to anybody, any cardiologist, anybody that's looking at blood, and it's anybody that's looking at even a nutritionist, the inflammation that happens when you consume wheat in your body, and then coupled with if it's some really foreign to your body, which would be like a GMO, and then also a pesticide getting in there, then you probably start getting into like IBS. A whole lifetime of having that shit, eating that shit, you know what I mean? It stays in you, dude. Unless you're like taking coffee enemas and detoxing and flushing that shit out, dude. I mean, I got diverticulitis. I lived my whole life eating fucking pizza, then where my fucking bread and pizza, I lived on fucking sandwiches and pizza my whole fucking life. And then when I go into the doctors, he's like, dude, your intestines look like of like an 85 to 90-year-old man. They're like,
Really?
He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, just eating, and I couldn't fucking move shit through my intestine. I was literally full of shit, dog.
Damn.
To me, in what I've been doing with cooking and stuff for all these years, that sounds to me like a lack of vegetables. Like how?
Oh, I always eat vegetables.
Really?
My whole life, yeah.
Because like it just sounds like a fiber issue to me. Like
Yeah, those
No,
pizzas
no.
were Supremes, dog.
No, yeah. No, but no. What ends up happening? It's the inflammation. Now, when I cut out bread and I cut out like cookies and brownies and shit like that, or sugars, mostly. But when I cut out breads, dude, I'm steady. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no, there's an inflammation, man. I'll fucking, dude, like my butthole gets all swollen up or something gets swollen up in there, dude. When I shit, it comes out almost flat sometimes, dude. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Like not flat, but it looks like it went through like a Play-Doh pasta maker fucking kind of.
Well, if you had any gay fans, you just turned them away.
Yeah.
Why? That's a tight ass.
Tight
I would
ass.
say that's a fucking tight ass, dude. You need a flat pencil dick to get in there fucking for it to be loose, dude. No, but
It's a double spitter.
But no, the thing is like the thing about GMOs is what's used, from my understanding, from listening to people that are more that are farmers and shit like that. The people that, especially because I get people on my tours, they talk about a lot of this stuff. You have to grow GMOs in order to get subsidized and fucking be able to sustain the farm. You have to grow but one of the things though is they're saying that there's a big problem with the soils, the treatment that you have to use, and there's no guarantee. That's the other thing that they're saying. They pimp it out there that there's a guarantee on the yield and but there's not. And independent studies, and this is something that's always argued back and forth, but independent studies have shown that you get an equal, if not greater, yield from like organic, sustainable, growing in living defense. Using living defense, you get living predators and stuff like that you keep the ecology going. A lot of the wines up in California, Northern California and stuff like that, that's how they grow. A lot of the farms up there, that's how they do. You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing I can say about kooky California when it does come to some shit, like in some aspects, when it does come to like farming and shit like that, like they at least promote and or respect that practice,
Yeah.
It's real easy to get somebody to get in there and from a big farm and have little farms have to fucking change up. That's usually what happens,
Yeah.
But sorry I go on these long-winded
you're fine.
diatribes here, dude. But so you're saying that there's 10 different varieties. No, I get that because I mean that's what you've always seen in the store.
Yeah.
You have your squashes, you have your certain artichoke. You know what I mean? You have your certain potatoes and
like
stuff.
there's a apple and a potato that have been genetically modified, and basically all the genetic modification has done is prevent them from browning. So that way, if you like you see the apples that are pre-cut in the plastic containers, you notice how they don't brown. That's because they've been genetically modified to just not brown. And all genetic modification is when you take something like selective breeding that Mendel was doing with peas all the way back when he discovered genetics, is instead of saying, okay, well, I'm going to keep breeding this strain until I get the desired result, you're saying I'm going to just splice this DNA and I'm going to take out this segment and I'm going to replace it with this segment, and it's going to do what I want it to do.
Now, are you talking about doing that in a lab? Or
Yes.
you're talking about and what are you talking about taking something from the same species, the same
No.
the same plant?
You can go cross species. There's actually a
'Cause
there's a breed of goats that have had into their milk producing ability. They've added the milk now also produces silk. So what they do is as they milk them, they are able to take them.
Then they silk them.
They're able to take the milk.
Milking and silking, baby.
Yeah. It's a great little rhyming scheme. They're able to take the silk and make low-cost silk, because normally you have to wait on silkworms to make their little cocoon, and then you have to unravel them and stop the cocooning process. All your expensive.
Have you ever seen those things piss like the silk out of their ass? Like,
Oh yeah.
it's like a cat like spraying. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a spider when it shoots its
Shoots its web.
Yeah. It's literally, but instead of having to go through all that,
How relieving does it have to be? I mean, if you can produce that much, you know what I mean? When you take a good turd and you're just like, oh, fuck, man. You ever had that good shit? You have that, and when you, like, you can take it, like, there's a few good shits. Some of them, they'll make you want to take a nap right after. You're like, fuck, I'm just ready to go to bed. Call that shit nap, right? Then there's other ones that they get you and you're just ready to you're ready to go. You're ready, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I can drive for 12 hours straight after that one. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
get that like empty feeling like you just had an intestine removed.
the pants just goes down 2 notches.
Yeah.
those are the ones that I'm always hungry after.
Hey. So, yeah, sorry, dude. GMOs just get there.
No. The tangents are fine. I have ADD.
I felt like it knocked something loose right there. So,
Just talking about it, your intestines have flared up.
yeah. Well, I just had that sandwich. That's another thing. That's why, even though it was a patty melt, that's why I get rye. Rye has a less spike in your glycemic index and a less inflammation on your,
That might be the case when I get old, but I'm still 28, so I want to enjoy that while I can.
treat it right, dude. Here's the thing is start making the adjustments, the small adjustments. Start making them now. Like, be done with the soda, slowly, like whittle. You know what I mean? Like,
I've cut down the calorie amount that I'm eating on a day.
But you want to be able to make the change, or having already made the change away from that stuff. versus being forced to and having to live a life of medication. Because I'll tell you what, man, I'm getting there to where I got some friends living on medication. I'm like, fuck, bro, we're in our 40s.
Yeah.
That ain't good. You know, like my buddy hitting me up right now, dude. He's fucking gonna be there. But so, yeah, please. We have 11. So,
what's this here? While he's doing that, what's this you poured for me here? What do we got here?
This is the first wine I've brought tonight for us to taste. This is 19 Crimes. It's called the Uprising, and it's a really cool wine. They aged it for 30 days in rum barrels. And
when you say rum barrels, like I always just assume rum. Well, I guess it's not clear, so there wouldn't be much of any.
No, not clear rum, like brown rum, like spiced rum.
So you're talking about like
Captain Morgan, brown rums, Kraken, if you've ever had that.
yeah. Are you talking more like on the sipping side? Because those tend to be sweet. Like those are kind of like the spice rum's kind of sweetened up.
Yeah. No, this definitely has that spice rum quality.
I'm going to the Dominican, so I need to learn about rum.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know a ton about rum. I mostly drink tequila, when it comes to liquor. So, but this stuff is perplexed me because they age it in a different barrel to give it a different flavor. So we were talking about this before the show started. You get that plum taste up front.
Yep.
But then aftertaste, you just have a straight aftertaste. I taste vanilla from the rum. And so one of the points I want to make is the so-called wine experts, sommeliers and stuff, it's really, it's a giant hoax. It's a group of rich people who want to feel elite and feel superior. I actually started studying to become a sommelier, and I left because it's absolute garbage. Taste is a subjective experience. Mm-hmm. So just because I taste one thing and you taste another thing doesn't mean both tastes aren't there. It's individually our taste buds are different. So we're going to have different perspectives on the same flavor.
It's also what you pick up because there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different elements to the taste of wine and stuff like that. But it's also like one of the things that you can articulate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it comes to. I think in a lot of cases, like you were saying, when it comes to a sommelier, it was the guy that could actually just taste something and articulate it or get bullshit enough to where he can swoon the chick. He's like, people are like, ooh, I taste this, and he's like, I need this bitch to drink this wine so I can get in this. I'm like, no, I smell fresh cut grass on the, you know what I mean? Like you smell the
fresh
earth,
cut grass on a spring
Well, like
day.
you said, it's all about selling the wine. It's all about selling the words and the things and the stuff like that. Kind of like the tarot cards. You know, anybody can read your tarot card, but if the person that's reading it isn't confident, and with a good package delivery and can, knows all the cards and stuff, it's going to sound like shit.
Yeah, know how to.
If you really want to impress me with tarot cards, go to 3 readings at 3 different places in the same day and see if they all give you the same fortune.
Well, from my understanding, that's not like how it works.
Yeah,
it's like the energy on like what's being focused on. When we had the tarot card reading over here, he was like, just ask a question on like what you want, and I wasn't supposed to. I guess there's a couple ways of doing it, but yeah. No, I'm sorry. We can get into that later, but fucking. I'm all over the place. I just lost my thing. But we were talking about taste over here, and when it comes to taste is subjective. So you're saying that like that whole industry that's like, where people are spending, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to get educated on wine. You're saying that that's completely just a fabricated thing just to justify,
sales.
Sales.
No.
You think it, or is that what you're saying, Mikey? Sales.
I'm just guessing sales. I mean, everything's sales driven, right?
No, like when it comes to this, the board of sommeliers, they have 4 levels. So the level 4 somm is like the highest rank you can possibly be, and there's only like 88 of them, and it makes it seem very esteemed and high ranking. And these are, if you look at the level 4 somms, almost all of them are just old white guys who are very wealthy. So it seems to me like it's just like a really, really exclusive country club for these guys to basically say, hey, we're going to make the rules about wine. And because we're now in a position to do so and tell you what's good and what's bad, that you don't really have, you can't really have a counterpoint to this. And so we get to dictate which wines are good wines, and thus they get to be high priced. And we get to dictate which wines are garbage, and they get to be low priced.
Interesting. So they sway the market.
Yeah, they can definitely sway the market. If they say...
It's like Randolph and Mortimer Duke.
Yeah,
over there swaying the market.
Well, and a lot of that also, like when it comes to the wineries and stuff, like the more expensive wines you'll find are the vineyards that have existed for hundreds of years at this point. I understand a price tag on that because you're getting a piece of history there. But when a sommelier comes and, sips a wine and tells you, oh, it was a very dry winter and blah, 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 and they tell you like stuff that they couldn't possibly discern through just tasting a fermented grape, like it's horseshit. It's absolute horseshit.
Well, supposedly, when you're in that education, that program you go through and you learn and you taste the wines and these different things that have gone through those types of winters and that kind of stuff, and you find those characteristics and you learn all that stuff, and then you're able to find that out there in the wild. You know what I mean? You're able to figure out that by taste. I mean, you do blind tastings. You know what I mean? Like my old roommates, they were studying for their sommelier test, and I got to hang out and do all sorts of tastings with them and stuff like that. And I was blown away that, the same thing. They were like, oh, yeah, this wine, you can taste it was grown on the western slope of a mountain. Like these grapes tend to be more sweeter, or, this wine tastes more sweeter versus the grapes harvested from this side where they tend to be, like I can understand that, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like that with weed, you know what I'm saying? Like I can look at a lot of stuff in weed and I can tell you if it was outdoor, if it was grown greenhouse, if it was grown indoor. I can tell you, all sorts of stuff. I can tell you by the way it smokes, if it's been flushed clean or not, or you know what I mean? Like, so I get those nuances and stuff. I can see what you're saying to a certain degree, because how it's put in high regard. It's in such a because I remember when I used to was in the restaurants and stuff, and these people would come in and they'd be like, oh, this guy's got all this, he's a sommelier, he's got all these, whatever, these credits and stuff like that. And that's the sad part about me, dude. Even when I'm around like people I should know and know their name and their credits, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's bad. I should know because it sounds good, but it sounds bad to me to be like, oh yeah, I was with so and so, whatever. But people get all fucking uppity, about like these people and stuff. And then like I would go out drinking, and I'm like, we'd go out to bars, and I'm like, dude, this guy can't hold his fucking booze. He can't hold his fucking drugs. Like, what are we holding this fucking guy in high? Like, he's a bubble gummer. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I will give this, and don't.
You're supposed to be, dude. If you're, this is my take. If you're gonna be a sommelier, master sommelier, you gotta be the fucking plug. You know what I mean? You gotta be the guy that's got the fucking shit. You got it on lockdown. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta be the pimp daddy of pimp daddies, dude.
I will say this. I'm not trying to badmouth anyone who's a sommelier, but they do spend their entire day drinking. So by the time you're going out with them at night, they've been drinking for like all day.
Yeah.
So
which means they're honest. Which means they're brutally honest.
Yeah, right. No, but I mean, my last, I've always worked in as an adult behind the bar. Up until last few years of my life, man, I was drinking every day. I can't say that I was drunk, but I was drinking every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bar I used to hang out with when I was a big drinker, the bartender used to drink a bottle of Jaeger per shift, like that, and it was just totally normal. Like fuck it, that's just what's happening.
Yeah,
totally
no,
put down a
like,
bottle of
Oh,
Jaeger.
dude, that's nothing, dude.
Nothing. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my well, I'm saying like it just becomes second nature. Like you're just at a certain point where you're by this time of the day you need this much in you.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
There are days when I look at my coworker on the line and I'll just be like, I can't do this anymore. My BAC is way too low.
Yeah, you need tell them to send us some in from the fucking bar.
Yeah, like seriously, like I need a shift shot like now.
We need more vodka for the vodka sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the old move when I worked in the kitchen.
No more vodka.
The hard asses of the kitchen are the ones who drink the cooking wine, because that stuff has like salt and stuff in it. Like it's flavored. It's not just straight wine.
Oh yeah. No, it's done like that to prevent people from drinking it.
It's also like it's got like broth and stuff mixed into it already, like to an extent.
That I'm not sure. I know the salt though. It's got like it's supposed to prevent you from enjoying that.
Well, I remember when I worked in the restaurant, there was a guy like you said, but he would drink the Marsala wine. Oh, that's just a brutal one.
Yeah,
dude. Like,
yeah.
bro, you're struggling over
Like,
there.
I'll take a little nipsy of some Marsala, dude.
Yeah, but we used to have the kegs. We used to the kitchen I worked in, the kegs were back there. So one of the cooks finally figured out, like, they're all hard lined to the main tabs. He figured out, he just brought a tap in one day and would just quickly disconnect, like, you know what I mean? Like, just quickly disconnect.
Oh, yeah.
He'd fill up a pitcher full of beer and then just have it in the cooler.
And then it just looks like an air bubble in the line. Like, you're fine.
And then he would just reattach it. And I think one time it was like they were trying to pump it and they yelled back, like, someone check the Heineken. And then, like, okay, we got it. And it was, like, done.
No. And for any of you who aren't restaurant people, theft is like a normal thing that happens in the restaurant industry. Everybody steals from the place they work, even though they really shouldn't be biting the hand that feeds. And we're all fairly tuned. It's the only way to get through the day, because you either have, bitchy people up front dealing with the servers, just, giving them shit when they work for, they work for tips. I mean, here in Vegas, it's a little different because there's unions here and some of the servers get to make $12 an hour plus tips. But there's also the servers that make $2.83 an hour. And if you don't tip them, they don't eat.
Yeah, no, that's what's fucked up, man. Like, I will say, like, they need to fix that, dude, because food serving's a fucking gangster gig, and then you just got people like, oh, they'll find some reason to be a cheap bastard, not tip, and then the fucking food server has to pay taxes on that shit, dude.
And you got to realize that the server, in addition to working for tips, they also have to share a portion of their tips, even if it's not a shared tips restaurant. You got to tip out the bartender because he made your drinks all night. Or if they got busboys, they get a cut of that too.
We used to make the servers tip us out in the back of the house.
That's fucking dope.
We just went on, the cooks went on strike. They were like because the servers are always running back like, oh, I need this with some special instruction. It's a charge, but they don't want to charge the customer for.
Yeah.
Or this or that, and we'd be like, no, not doing it. Nope. So we'd make them break us off at least enough to buy like, a case of beer to split for the crew or something at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Like, at least break us off. Like, you guys are running up here wanting, extra ranch without a ticket. Because do you line cook?
Yeah.
So, like, do you ever get that a lot? Like, they'll want, like, side of sauce or something. But just run it through. Give me the ticket. Like, if it doesn't have a ticket, I can't put it out.
We're in a big crackdown at my restaurant right now because we have a food cost issue. And it's just like...
There it is.
And they literally, the servers are getting so pissed at me because they'll come back and they'll ask for something and I'll be like, is it rang in? No ticket, no taco.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they'd be like, oh, I dropped 2 chicken fingers off the plate. Can you drop me 2 fingers? Or, no, running that shit through.
Ring it in. Ring it in or get a manager to tell me to do it.
Yeah, for sure, because that's where the food goes. And like you said, that's part of stealing. You know what I mean? Like, we would get, like, we had one lady and then they were just trying to feed people for free. And I was like, look, you're either being worked over there or you're hooking your people up, because there was a whole table. And it's a weird thing, but it's like these are the little petty issues you deal with when you're giving out food because you're in control of what goes out. and they all ordered cheeseburgers, right? Everybody ordered a fucking cheeseburger, like 9 cheeseburgers to one table. Then the server comes back when the food goes out and goes, "Oh, they were supposed to be hamburgers. Can you drop me 9 regular beef patties?" And
Whoa.
I'm like, what?
No.
I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, they don't need the whole bun and fries. Just I'll serve them the patties, and they said they'd swap it out on the bun. And I'm like, so you want fucking 9 double cheeseburgers? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And then like I told the manager, I was like, yo, Frankie, man, go check on that table, man. Something weird over there. And sure enough, they were all eating the fucking double burger. Like, fucking, come on, you fucking cheap bastards. Like, just fucking.
Wow.
But the server was in on it too. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
seriously.
crazy shit.
Well,
you know?
the server thinks, oh, if I get in on this, I'm gonna get a better tip.
And they're getting a better tip.
And that's the problem is that's hurting the restaurant because that's the restaurant's food costs going down the drain because the server's trying to make more money. But at the same time, if the restaurant was paying the server an actual wage, the server wouldn't give a shit. The server would be like, no, go fuck yourself.
No,
The other hustle was we used to have a salad bar in the restaurant, right? And so the server would tell the customer, oh, if you get there was a pizza and salad bar combo, but you had to pay for the toppings on the pizza. That was where they made their money. So like you would do like a supreme pizza, it was like $12, and a cheese pizza was like $9, right? And then you had the salad bar was like the upgrade. So what the server would do is like ring up the cheese, but then she would just say, well, can you just throw some veggies on there? Because they're just going to eat them at the salad bar anyways, but they want like peppers and onions on the pizza.
No.
You know what I mean? Like they're just going to eat peppers and onions on their salads, but they just want them on the pizza. And you'd be like, well, that's how the place makes their money. You know what I mean? Like they're giving away the salad, but they're making money on the, the upcharge for the pizza toppings. You know what I mean? And then sometimes she would even bring toppings from the salad bar and be like, can you throw these on that pizza? They got the salad. I'm like, no, I can't fucking do that. You know what I mean? Like,
dude.
because I'm going to get fired
Yeah.
if the boss catches me throwing up a Supreme when it's supposed to be a fucking cheese. It looks like I'm stealing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was crazy, man. The food, the line cooking was, I line cooked for a long time, and it was crazy, man. I worked at one place, and the dudes I worked for just moved here from New York, and they were like Italian New Yorkers. Like one of them had just got out of like federal prison. You know what I mean? He was connected guy, used to run with one of the bigger operations out of New York, and that's how I got juiced into the job. But the guy that he hired to run the kitchen was this big dude named Joe. And Joe used to be like, yo, when the food truck comes with the delivery, feed the guy. I'm going to go see what's on the truck. You know what I mean? So, like, the food truck would come in, and we'd be like, hey, man, you want to try this new Alfredo dish with the, blackened chicken on top? Or you want to try this new pizza we're working out the crust on? We would just bullshit him on some dish. We'd get the food truck driver to sit down and eat. And meanwhile, the other guys were out back, like, getting some mascarpone cheese off the truck some high-end clams. Oh, we found a bag of clams, like tonight's special, you know what I mean, is the fucking clams or whatever was on the truck. They would just grab a couple cases of it. That would be like the dinner special. It was
He was a delivery guy or what?
Well, the delivery guy would bring the food. Like we would get the food order like Friday morning. So when the delivery guy would be bringing in the food, we'd have him doing it. Either we'd say there was a problem with the order or we'd get him to sit down and eat. Like, hey, man, here it's hot out there. Sit down, have a burger on us or try this new dish. And while he was sitting down eating, the other guy, the head chef, was out rummaging through his truck. And he would just come through and he'd be like, when the guy would leave, he'd be like, look at this score. Everything was a fucking score. I'm like, bro, it's hilarious.
It's a band of pirates.
Yeah. The whole thing, the whole kitchen operation is just, it's just rip and tear. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be completely...
It's not for the faint of heart, dude, that's for sure.
I'm going to be completely honest right now. My Tinder account in my bio says... that I'm an aspiring comedian, but I currently work in whatever pirate galley will have me as a cook.
Yeah, that's
and
it
literally, that is what it is. It is a band of pirates. We
dude, trust me, man. I know. My first gig working in the kitchen was at the Pepper Mill on the Strip.
Oh man, you work there?
Yeah, and so I got a job as a busboy out of high school. I was cooking at KFC in high school, and I got a gig as a busboy over there, and I was trying to get a gig as a prep cook, and I ended up with a fucking job bussing late at night, midnight, and then that was great. Busboy at the Pepper Mill, right out of high school.
Oh yeah.
fucking midnight. You know what I mean, dude? I was fucking hooking up with so many fucking broads, the girls that work there, and then girls that come in late night. But just see stripper fucking pussy nonstop, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it was craziness, drugs everywhere, and so I finally, they're like, hey, there's a prep cook position on day shift, you know, and I was like, fuck yeah, finally, you know.
Yeah.
So I go. Yeah, dude, I'll never forget. My first day, I show up, dude. I'm fucking clean. Got my fucking hat, my fucking deal, my scarf, my apron, my fucking whites on and shit, dude. And rolling in, and I'm coming into the back, and the fucking door kicks open, and one of the assistant chefs is grabbing this dude by the collar, and he's dragging this guy out. He's like backing up, and the other assistant chef is punching this dude in the ribs, fucking slugging him, like full blown, like punching this dude. They're fucking tuning this guy up, get him on the ground, stomp his ass, like, you know, just give him just putting the boots to him, you know, nothing crazy, medium style, and throw him in the fucking dumpster, right? They throw him in the dumpster, and they go, if you want your fucking job, just shut your fucking mouth, put on some fucking new clothes, and go back to work.
Damn.
And I was like, yeah, this is my fucking place, son. This is it, dude. And so then, like, it was like my first day back in the kitchen, or, you know, my first day back there. And a guy that he's one of my best friends. We're still best friends today, but, you know, he's one of my fucking favorite people on this planet. Him and this other dude smelt weed. And I had fucking forgot I had weed in my pocket. And they can smell the weed. You know, I'm cutting onions and on the slicer, and they're like, dude, is that you? And I was like, what? And, like, you know, next thing you know, we've been buddies ever since. Long story short.
That's hilarious.
Millions of hits of acid. But, yeah, dude, the kitchen rough and tumble, dog. And that's where I learned, because we used to hustle the food truck guy. And so my buddy would do the order. He was the ordering, and he'd be like, hide this, and I'd fucking take out like a whole ribeye, take it out to the car, and he's like, dude, we're short this, dude, I need this, and this is. He's like, oh yeah, and he'd fucking get it, it's fucking crazy, dude.
No, that shit happens. That shit happens, dude. There was cooking was fun, man. Cooking was a lot of fun. I remember one time we had the employee bathroom was in the kitchen, so one time this server had come and used the employee bathroom, and he left his book, with all his fucking money, his little thing. And he left it on the sink, and it came up missing. And so they knew it had to have either been one of the cooks or, someone in the back of the dishwasher. So the owner, this crazy Italian dude, pulls us all in the office.
What restaurant was this?
This was at Instant Replay.
Instant Replay?
Yeah, which was a Villa Pizza, which was owned by the...
which Instant Replay?
This one was on Marks in Henderson.
Oh, okay.
And it was brand new at the time, and it's not there anymore. It changed names and it's something else and whatever. But the owner was there, and the owner pulls all the cooks in the kitchen, and he's like, I need you guys to empty your pockets out, or I got to call the police, and the police will figure this out. And I'm like 19, but I'm selling fucking, I'm selling weed, I'm selling pills. I got like probably $1,000 cash on me. I got like fucking... probably an ounce, but like bagged up in various, amounts. And then I had like a little bag of Xanax in my pocket. And I'm like, fuck. And in my back pocket, I had a little 38 snub nose. And I'm like, fuck, dude, this looks fucking crazy. I'm like in line, like going to empty my pockets. And I'm like, man, I hope they find the dude before they get to my pockets, because I'm looking suspect as fuck. Not on the thievery, but how I'm going to explain this fear and loathing I'm about to dump on the table.
Right? Yeah.
Like, just fuck. I got a bag of like yellow Xanax, white Xanax, blue Xanax, the bars. I'm like, fuck. I'm just dreading it. And sure enough, it gets to me, and I'm like, fuck. He's like, all right, Slyman, empty your pockets. And I'm like, I really don't want to, I was like, please don't make me do this in front of everybody. So right away, everybody in the room was like, oh, fuck, this is the thief, right? Like, this dude stole it. And I was like, bro, please. I was like, can we do this one-on-one? Like, I don't have your money in my pocket, but I have other things I don't want everyone to see. And he goes, fucking slams his hand on the desk. He goes, God damn it, let me see what's in your pocket. I go, fuck it. You want to see what's in my pockets? And I had like $1,000 in like just all 20s. Like
I would have pulled out the gun first.
Well, I
dude.
pull out
I would
that-
have pulled out the gun first.
I pull out the money, and then I pull out all the fucking weed and the pills, and I set it on the fucking thing, and you could tell the money's not theirs. It's like banded up, and you know what I mean, whatever. So I stand that fold up. It was like I said, like an ounce, but like maybe like 6 bags for the ounce, you know, like bagged up, and then I had like fucking these little pills in the little like the like the sandwich bags that don't zip, but it was like zip like it was like twisty tied shut, and I had that. And then his eyes just get hella big, and everybody in the room's just like trying not to laugh. I go, the back pockets. I pulled out my wallet, and then I dropped the pistol on the table. He goes, get out of my office. He goes, we're going to talk later, but get the fuck out of my office. And then so like they end up finding, in the sinks, they have like that insulation pouch that goes around the little drain on the pipe that goes into the wall in the sink. Someone stashed the fucking thing in there. That's where they found the money.
Oh, wow.
So whoever stole it just found it in there and then put it in there and was planning to come back later because they knew that fucking it was going to come up.
The heat was on.
Yeah. So
That's
found it
somebody
in
who's
there.
stolen before. They know what's up.
Yeah, and then we figured out who it was. They ended up watching the tape. They could have just done this from the beginning, and it was like one dude fucking went in and went out after that guy. It was like, that was it. And then the guy, like, literally the guy comes out, and then this other dude goes in, and then the guy who lost it goes right back in. I was like, bro, why don't you just watch the tape, bro? Now everybody here's fucking not thinking I'm fucking. But my sales went through the roof after that, bro. The sales went up, so it was
From
a
the
good
boss.
But it was hella funny because he was like, "Don't be pushing that shit in my office." But the funny thing is that's who was buying it was the fucking servers and the dishwashers. Like I was unloading to them. You know what I mean? Of
course.
So that was the funniest thing.
That segues into my story really, really fucking well. Is I work with this one dude. He was biracial. He was half black, half white. And he was hardcore.
He was mulatto.
Yeah, he was straight edge and was like, he would straight up. He was like, his motto was, "Those who get high are the ones that die." And then I found out later on that he had been involved in a drive-by, like straight up.
Those guys, the sober people and shit, are the craziest, dude.
Yeah, and
they're always the fucking most wildest and fucking craziest.
And he straight up, he was like, "Hey, come over here one day." And he pulls out his backpack from under the line. He goes, "Yo, dude, do you want to smell the real Pineapple Express?" And pulls this like huge nugs of weed just in this bag out. And he goes, "Here, smell this." And I smell this. And then as I'm smelling it, I look down in his bag, and there's a 38 right there. And this is my first cooking job. I've been here for a couple months, and I'm like, I knew how the industry was, but I wasn't ready for this level. So I'm just like, holy fuck. What have I gotten into? And he
What, they're not packing in fucking Pittsburgh?
no, this was in Nashville.
Okay.
So
They're
like-
not they're not packing back there or what?
well, like no, I grew up on a farm. I grew up around guns, but they were all rifles and shotguns. So like we had one pistol, but it was like this dinky little
Handguns
Not
freak
that
people
Saturday
out.
night special, yeah, for sure.
Well, it's like a rifle. When somebody wants to shoot you with a rifle or a shotgun, it's gonna take a minute, and they're gonna pull up, and you have time to react. A handgun can come out of nowhere. Like that shit's easily concealed. You can keep it in a pocket. Like, you don't know that shit's coming. But so when I get caught off
If you're
guard,
properly trained, they know.
so like, I know what to look for, but I wasn't expecting to look down and see a 38 by my feet. But like it was a really cool restaurant to work at. It was my initiation. Fuck corporations if they want to come after me after this. The actual location is closed now, but it was a Ruby Tuesday. And I met some amazing people there. It was kind of crazy. I met a server there who was like, he was straight like drunk on whiskey every day. And then several years later, after I moved back to Nashville, I met him. I started working at a Chili's, and he was a server there, and I met him, and he's sober. He's a drummer in a band now, and like, he's not like sober, but he's not getting drunk every day. And then there was this dude named Brian, and he had this big ass, we called it his gladiator scar. You know the conveyor ovens? He rolled his chef coat all the way up.
Oh shit!
And one day he slipped on like a lemon or something, and he fell against it, and he had this burn that went all the way down his bicep. that
Jeez.
looked like somebody had drug a knife down his bicep.
Why did he roll his sleeve? Why would he do that?
Because he was hot. And
Jesus.
he was just trying to ventilate himself, so he would roll it up. So
Usually
that,
it's people with tattoos.
no, he wasn't inked or anything. He would also drive around in the parking lot on his break with like a warm. This was Tennessee summers with like he would have a 12-pack of Natty in his truck, and he would just drive around the parking lot and drink Natty until it was time to come back onto his shift and then clock back in.
That's just the way you get through the fucking day, man.
Oh yeah, no, like
You gotta have a routine, man. You gotta have a routine. So, let's see over here. We got the vino pouring.
yeah.
You
Guys ready to try the next one?
Yeah,
You
what do
need
we
to
got?
finish what you got.
A Malbec. Yeah. Get a little heartburn on my deal.
Are you?
Every time I take a plug, yeah, I get a little heartburn. But I've been eating shitty food all day. I don't want to say shitty food, but food I don't normally eat.
Yeah.
Breads. I don't eat the breads.
Yeah, but that sandwich was fucking amazing.
Yeah, that sandwich was so good.
But my I had out of desperation earlier today. I had a Starbucks sandwich,
Oh yeah.
the caprese chicken, and it was quite tasty. But after that, I had heartburn. Oh, and I had their little sous vide chicken or their sous vide egg
Little egg bites. Those are good.
Those are good. I don't, but see, because I had both of those, and I don't normally eat either of those.
Fuck
I don't know what's caused my heartburn.
Gotcha.
The only thing I ever eat at Starbucks is sugar cookies.
Is what?
Sugar cookies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I don't go there for food.
I don't either, but if you're in the drive-thru, like if you got to smash something quick, the egg
Oh
bites
no,
are
no,
amazing.
I take that back. There was they have a breakfast sandwich that I really like. It has it's a croissant with like egg and bacon, and it's just really simple. It's like my go-to. So this next wine, this is a old vine Malbec from Argentina.
Nice.
It's called Diseño.
Diseño.
I think it has the tilde over the end, so I think that's how it's pronounced. If I'm wrong,
Oh no. I'm just.
yeah, I'm terrible.
I'm
with
doing my
pronunciation.
Antonio Banderas, dude. So
How would Antonio Banderas pronounce that?
I thought I did it.
Okay.
That was my best Antonio right
that
there.
was the
best.
Diseño.
So Malbecs are one that are a little off the beaten path. Like you don't get into them until you're a dedicated wine drinker. But they're like, in my opinion, they're always spicy. They still have those fruit notes, but it's always like you're having the fruit with like black pepper or some other essence of heat with it.
This label's like Paul Allen's business card from American Psycho, man. This is
Bone.
yeah, pale nimbus.
Craziest.
Pale nimbus. It's got a good texture to it.
Yeah, feel
I'll
that
tell you
thing.
what. It doesn't hit my. It didn't give me the same spike as the 19 Crimes did on my old fucking Heartboyne.
Yeah. No, this is really good. It's funny because 2 of these wines that I brought tonight, or no, 3 of these wines are from an actual wine store, and 2 of these are just from fucking Walmart. This Diseño is one of them.
Wait, from the wine store or from Walmart?
This is from Walmart.
Take it away. Dude,
Oh, he
serving us
suddenly got
Walmart.
Take it away, Mike Walden.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Hey, dude. I'll say this. The other day, I bought some fucking some chuck steaks. They're it's like $6 for like a pound, like two little fucking chuck steaks. Put a little salt, pepper, and fucking quick pan sear and a little butter bath on them deals. Woo! Oh yeah, dude.
It doesn't matter what steak you're cooking, as long as you're doing the butter marinade, especially if you have like any herb to throw in there, like a rosemary or thyme or something, because then the oils come out and bleed into that butter.
Not my herb. I'll say I'm reserving
I
that.
mean, so one of the
I'm
things
reserving that for the smoke.
one of the things I've always wanted to try is actually in India they have this thing called Happy Pizza, and they put flour directly on top of the pizza like it's fucking oregano.
Flowers or flour?
Flour like
Like weed.
Yeah.
weed.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's actually like it's encouraged by the Indian government and everything. Like they endorse it. It has their seal of approval.
That'll get you fucked off, dog.
Yeah.
That'll get you high.
Shout out to
Well, you got to be careful though, because cooking that shit will overcook it. Yeah.
no. I think they put it
Decarb.
on in the end when the pizza, like, as it comes out of the oven.
You got to decarb. Yeah, you got to decarb it. But yeah, man, I'm all about that shit, dude. We're gonna see more and more of that as things get more and more legal.
Yeah, no, that's
Can't wait till we see weed in farmers markets, bro.
yeah, that's gonna be amazing.
Just at the 7-Eleven too. You know what I mean? Let me
Commonplace.
just get a pack of fucking.
So my problem.
No,
with
that's gross, dude.
yeah, my problem with it
Just
hitting.
get a
this-
packet. No, fuck
man, just
that,
a pack
dude.
of gummies,
That's
bro.
like you get fucking goddamn Jack in the Box tacos. Fuck off, dude.
Just
like,
give me
no,
the gummies,
never.
bro. Give me the edibles.
Give me
You
the
know I
gum-
love my
Yeah, see-
edibles, dude.
Yeah, okay, see, that's fine. You can have that at the fucking 7-Elevens, but
Yeah.
that they have government approves it, GP
Or how about like
GPCs,
you
government
driving
approved
through the
cigarettes.
neighborhoods and everyone's just got fucking plants and shit. You know what I mean? Like everybody's just growing it. Would you be better? Is that a better way to go?
What?
If everybody just was growing weed, it was just part of the landscape.
Yeah.
That'd be great, right? Like
Yeah, it would.
fucking, like fucking trees and shit.
It would. We
everywhere.
should just be fucking. We like. I made a little meme of it. We should be fucking overgrowing the fucking country. Just you have a seed in a bag, fucking throw it out your window, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? We should be throwing seeds all over the fucking place. They can't stop it.
So, like, I support legalization and everything. I don't personally smoke. It's just I haven't tried it since I was an adult. It's just not been something that's interested me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very excited as it becomes more and more legal about the cooking applications, because, like, there's a ton of unexplored territory that I would love to, start investigating and play around with.
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot of people. I mean, especially here because it's legal. They're making a living. Doing well.
Yeah.
Zaria Bacon. Zaria out here. She's been, cooking. Did that show for Wiz Khalifa and all those guys.
Most expensive.
Yeah, she's been doing. Yeah, and she, she's been doing a lot of stuff. It's all like weed infused.
There's a girl out here that's a.
Edible D.
Yeah, there's a girl. She's I don't know the legality, so I don't want to throw her out there and give her a plug, but she does baked goods, and the one thing she specializes in is these little. She makes these 20 milligram cake bites. Dude, they're amazing.
Are you sure? She lives out here.
Yeah, I'll show you her. I'll show you her Instagram. But like I said, I don't want to throw her out there because I don't know she has an Instagram for it, but I don't think she pushes that it's medicated. You know what I mean? Maybe she does. I'm not sure. But
Yeah, no.
She's been on. This is the girl? She's the Happy Chef. She was on Cooking on High on Netflix. Is the girl I'm talking about? She lives out here in Vegas.
No, that's not the girl. She's got way more of a following than this girl. But this girl doesn't advertise that she does the medicated ones. But
Okay, looks pretty.
she's a baker. She does she specializes in cake pops and
Oh,
stuff
wow.
like that. But they're amazing and they look amazing.
Yeah,
too.
no, I was gonna say her stuff is gorgeous.
Yeah, look
Yeah,
at that
but-
presentation, dude. Like it's
That's-
just
yeah.
you order that for a party, and if you were to get the medicated ones, each one of those is 20 milligrams,
Damn,
which
that's
is
gonna
like
be one hell of a party.
two edible. It's like two edibles because they regulate Nevada at 10 milligrams. But yeah, she's dope, dude. She makes good quality stuff. Look at that presentation.
Yeah, no, it's weird because I don't ingest.
Wow, man.
But I still wanted to study the laws and everything about weed and how it functions in I'm sorry. I know I'm pronouncing the sate wrong. Is it Nevada?
Oh,
No, it's Nevada, dude.
Nevada.
The hard A.
I'm gonna get it with
Because
like
we're hard
that.
asses here,
I'm
dog.
gonna give it with that hard Wisconsin accent, a Wisconsin accent. Nevada.
Nevada.
Go get some tacos.
Some tacos. Yeah, I love my tacos. But so Malbec, you know who talks? He's very heavy into Malbec. Tim Ferriss from the 4-Hour Work Week and the what else is he? I mean, he's done a bunch of amazing stuff. But yeah, Tim Ferriss. Are you familiar with him?
No.
He's like the guy. He has like the 4-hour body, the 4-hour work week. He was like one of those guys that like hacked how to learn stuff fast, how to like
Okay.
do how to simplify your life, how to automation, very big on automation, you know, have things run, outsourcing, that kind of stuff. Anyways, I get his newsletter, his 5-Bullet Friday, and he's like, he'll have like, you know, what I'm drinking, what I'm doing, my best purchase this month for under 100, you know, or what I bought for that's been under $100. I always love that. I always thought that's a good thing, you know, like he'll ask his guests, what's the best thing you've bought that's under $100? You know what I mean? Like what's the best like purchase you've made?
I would say my air fryer.
Yeah,
those things
dude.
are
Well,
awesome.
mine was over $100 though.
Mine was over 100, but I got it on sale and I had Kohl's cash, so it was on sale and the Kohl's
Nice.
cash kicked in. And you know, actually, my wife had bought it for me, but it was like I think it came in at like $85, and I got the New Wave 10 quart, the big one. You know, and dude, like I said, I've said that to my wife. I'm like, this is the best like thing that we've bought, like because we use the shit out of this.
Oh yeah, dude. I have the air fryer oven, and it is. I was a toaster oven guy.
Yeah.
I was a toaster oven guy.
You have a microwave?
I have a
You
microwave
use it?
for just to like heat up a liquid or something
Yeah.
fast instead of boiling it. But other than that, like no.
We don't even have one anymore. We got rid
No,
of it.
yeah, no, I heat up everything, dude, like in the
Yeah.
air fryer. Yeah, you got an air fryer?
No,
Well, the oven's
so
better than the fryer.
When
But
I was living in Pennsylvania, my neighbor had an air fryer, so I kind of had an air fryer. I would have an air fryer every now and then because she would bring it up and we'd do like a night where we, you know, made a bunch of air fried chicken wings, and then she'd just be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna leave it here. I'll come pick it back up tomorrow," and it'd be at my house for like a week.
that's how, well, dude. That's how I knew the air fryer was legit. Very first thing I did is I cooked wings in it.
Yeah.
They were better than the, yeah.
And here's the thing though, I did give it a little bit extra treatment than I would normally, in a situation, or I have since then I haven't done the same, but where I rotated the racks to make sure everything got that
Yeah.
proper time on that top fan, you know. But they came out crispy. They came
Juicy.
out moist.
Yeah.
They came out fucking, you know, just like I'd fried them, because I would always like pan fry mine, like shallow pan fried, and just like that, came out just like that, dude. It's fucking great.
Amazing,
It was
isn't it?
great.
That's
It was-
awesome.
And that's how I knew it was legit. And I was like, all right, we can donate the toaster oven now.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? Like, it could
No, they
fucking
do
crush it.
chicken legs too, like that. Same way with like chicken legs, like fucking, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude. The kids, we can do the kids pizza on the one rack, the
Yeah.
fucking nuggets and the fries on the other one,
Yeah.
and fucking reheat whatever down on the bottom. I actually got a burger patty. I got a burger patty, or a burger from work and shit, and I took it home, and I'm like, I fucking hate, you know, I hate the reheat. Normally, what I'd do when I'd reheat, I would just heat up a pan, throw the meat in the pan, and then you know, a little splash of water and cover it. You know, get that steam heat. But you still, on that reheat, you still get a weird taste.
Yeah.
Right? Not in the air fryer, baby.
No, it actually rechars the outside and everything.
Dude, you
It's
throw it in
insane.
there, it just continues the fucking process. I don't know, like you don't get that old taste, that beef cool down and reheated
Yep.
taste. Thing's the best. I don't know what NASA did. No.
Yeah, no, it's for sure.
No, I will say, one, the air fryer is fantastic. Two, I think the utensil that every American kitchen is lacking is a wok. If you know how to use one, they're an amazing cooking tool.
We were just talking about the wok, remember? I cook my bacon in a wok.
I haven't done bacon yet. I want to try that now.
Cast iron, dog.
No, I have a cast iron skillet, and I love it, and I take good care of it.
Or just my regular, but
But with the wok, I just did fried chicken in there the other night because I live in an apartment. I don't own a deep fryer because I don't want my entire apartment to smell like deep fryer.
well, just cooking in general will light up your fucking kitchen, you know.
Oh, yeah.
My smoke alarm is way too close to my kitchen,
Oh, dude, such a pain in the butt.
so I just do the most fire hazardy thing possible and hang a T-shirt over my smoke alarm.
Yeah.
So it's like it has an extra filter. But yeah, no, the fried chicken I made last night was the best fried chicken I've ever made in my life. And that was the wok. And then also I made chicken marsala which is normally done in a skillet, and you build the layers in there. I did that in a wok, and it turned out amazing.
I mean,
The wok is good, man. I have a good wok. I cook with the wok a lot.
The only time I cooked with the wok like regularly, even though I had one, was my mother-in-law. She's got a great one that she's been using for probably 30 some years, so it's completely like seasoned.
Texture.
And I mean she even hits it with like the metal fucking scrape spoon, that whatever. So like
the big fucking
all the whatever shaving she's knocked off, they've been eating it for years, and there's no more.
For sure.
Well,
there's none of that shit fucking in my food, but
My dad has a cast iron skillet, and he fries eggs in it every morning since we were kids. The same fucking one. And like he's never like cleaned it. Like it doesn't get clean.
When you're not technically, you're not supposed to.
And he just keeps adding oil. Like if oil comes out, oil goes back in.
If it's seasoned right, you just don't really have to.
But like you said, like that thing's
the only thing I'd recommend, like if you have excess debris, like if you fried something with flour in it, and you want to like clean it up to get that excess flour out a little bit, so you don't just get straight char, is put in salt and take a paper towel and just rub.
Oh yeah.
No, this dude has not fucking touched this thing forever. We eat eggs out of it like it's going out of style too. Like we go there just for those fried eggs.
Oh yeah. No, because that has years of flavor that is you can't replicate that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I can't remember the name of the restaurant, and this is killing me. There's a restaurant in I think it's Georgia, and they don't change the oil that they fried with. They've been frying with the same oil for like 80 years.
I thought it was like that place was like in D.C. or some shit. Or there's a place like that in D.C. where they filter it. They keep like they keep adding to it, but they like filter it or whatnot.
Yeah,
but
they keep it in a vault.
Yeah.
Like a bank vault?
I thought that place was in D.C., but I could be mistaken.
They
also had onions to it.
Atlanta and DC are the same shit. You know what I mean? They might have two locations too, but that's like the same shit.
Atlanta was the first city I got
open. I've been to neither.
Atlanta was the first city I got openly offered drugs by a stranger. It was me and like 4 other friends just walking the streets of Atlanta at night. We're all white as shit. We have no business to be doing this. And this guy in a trench coat just walks up and he's like, "Hey man, you want to buy?" And he just pops open his trench coat and he's like, "I got oxys, I got," and he just starts naming off a pharmacy of drugs. And I'm just like, yeah, I was like 22 at the time, and I grew up in the country, so I have like no familiarity with this shit. I grew up as a shelter.
I grew up in the city and had no familiarity with
I was a super sheltered Christian child. Like this was all just foreign to me, and I'm just like, "Nah, we good, fam."
That's funny.
Yeah, dude. The city's a crazy place, dude. It was fun. What's funny is there was, I think it wasn't Atlanta. It was someplace like on the East Coast, but there was like, or east from here, but it doesn't normally snow, and I know it was there, but I think it was too much snow for this one. But anyways, they were talking about the snow, and it shows these dudes fucking making a drug deal in the back of the news.
Nice.
Have you seen that? So they're like talking about the weather and how like it shut everything down, and you watch these 2 dudes. You watch this black dude like walk out in the middle of the like shot in the back, and then like this other dude comes walking up, and they fucking do the whole hand thing, like the fucking thing, and then just go the other fucking way.
That's amazing.
Yeah, dude. It's like.
So I'm gonna get really hardcore nerd here. I've played Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time, the trading card game, and at a lot of shops and even at major events, buying and selling between players is forbidden, like because they want you to go to the vendors that are there. They paid money to be there. You need to go buy from them. But we're all doing this, and this shit goes down like a drug deal every time. It's just always like, "Oh yeah, let me get this card, and this card for X amount of dollars," and they negotiate whatever. And then they'll pull the cards out of the binder, and then they pull the cards out of the binder, and then they slide the money into the binder, close the binder, and hand it back to the dude. It's like straight just drug deal shit, but for trading cards.
Illegal Yu-Gi-Oh trading, black market. shit, dude.
Oh, dude, no, it's
Everything
crazy.
has its black market.
Oh, yeah.
Everything, yeah, dude.
Every fucking thing. What about counterfeiting? Is there a lot of counterfeiting in that world?
I also play Magic, and both of them have high counterfeiting rates, but at least the Yu-Gi-Oh fakes always look super fake. The Magic ones are getting to the point where like they're getting very hard to discern, and it's getting scary because there's big money in Magic the Gathering. There have been Black Lotus, which is like the most sought after money card from the alpha set, graded like ones are like graded 9.5s are selling for well over 10 grand. Yeah, and because at this point you're buying a piece of art. You're not buying just a trading card. And
You sound like you're selling that shit, dog.
I wish I was.
You ever hear of the Magic Gate? The scandal?
Yeah.
The Magic Gate scandal with the pedophile ring and all that. Did you hear about that?
No, not the pedophile.
Bro, that's some deep shit. Some deep shit right there.
No, I have heard
Well,
of this.
remember, I told you about it. Remember the guy that uncovered it was going to come on the show? My buddy Lou.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still trying to get him on. We just got to work out. He's busy right now, so we got to work out the scheduling. But he blew the fucking lid off that shit, dude. Like,
What the fuck?
like there was just like this big like online Magic community, and they were like selling cards and trading cards. It was basically like dudes like luring in little kids and shit, like pedophile shit. It was fucking
That's fucking crazy.
like crazy
Yeah,
as
dude.
shit, dude. Like, but yeah, you can look it up. Look up Magic Gate and the whole scandal. It's nuts.
Yeah, no.
It would make more sense to you, not be just because you're more into the magic. I don't know the exact.
Yeah.
You would know the terminology and all that stuff better. But yeah, he fucking. It was on like they were having him on like national news to talk about it. It was crazy.
Yeah, I remember when you told me to look him up. That's all that kept coming. That was the number one search, was all that
Him and the Anthony Weiner thing.
busting. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were telling me to look up the Anthony Weiner thing, and I kept finding all that shit.
Yeah, and that was that. Well, just because of I think because of the demographic, more sites shared the article, or whatever. So the optimization brought it up higher in the organic Google search
They're
results.
probably
If
trying
that
to
makes
bury
sense.
a lot of that Weiner shit because it's
Yeah.
it's tied into other shit.
Yes.
You know. So you knock that thing over there. No worries, dude. So what was the so yeah I keep bringing it back to the Malbec, dude.
Yeah.
In fact, we would have gone a long way to the Malbec, dude. You were saying this is more of your you got to be in the game a little bit to kind of get to these levels.
So I've worked on a couple different tasting menus and stuff, and every time I'm like, let's put a Malbec on there, and they're like, no, the average wine drinker can't handle a Malbec.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. It's just if you have the opportunity, you go out to your wine store or whatever, give Malbec a chance. It's going to be very different than a typical wine you drink.
So Malbec's not the
there's some
brand.
spice to
It's
it.
the
No, it's a style.
It's the style.
Everything this
like a what do you call it? Like a Riesling.
Oh, so
or a
so
Pinot.
Malbec. So I'm mistaken. Malbec isn't a grape. It's a fucking style of.
So this is no. It is a grape is a style when it comes to wine.
Okay.
So
My buddy actually makes wine. I should fucking talk to him too.
yeah. No,
For an education.
well, and also if he makes wine, set me up with him. I'd love to try it.
Yeah. I'd
So-
love to try it too, dude. I fucking get married. He doesn't even send me a bottle.
Wow, rude.
Nah, he's a busy guy.
Fair. No, this so
Yeah, no, make that money there, Scotty. Make that money. Don't worry about me. Make that money.
Malbec is going to be a the big thing with Malbec is that the vineyards are all old. This Diseño we have right here is actually has been grown in Argentina since the 1800s. So the vines they're still using are those vines from the 1800s. And what happens is as the vines age, the grapes are going to become more distinct and have their own flavor profile based on the soil and the grape being grown there and how old the vine is. So the I guess going back to an earlier point is this has a distinct flavor, but a sommelier who's like, oh, they could tell it was this particular one from this particular exact spot, I think was, they either knew beforehand or, they caught a glimpse of something. There was a context clue that told them that it was exactly this one, as opposed to, I don't personally think they could discern that. And, I cook for a living. I've tasted high-end ingredients, and I can tell you differences in things. Like, you can examine flavor profiles. That's not a joke. Those are real. Mm-hmm. But to be able to say, oh, well, to the point where it's almost supernatural, you're selling me horse shit. I've studied a lot of things, and a lot of them.
Well, I think there's got to be, and I'm not just trying to be the opposite. I do think there's something to that, because everything's, especially when it comes to like, everything that comes from that's grown, right? Everything is energy from the sun, and different variances of that energy is going to have a different effect. So, but I see what you're saying though. The high, the fluff.
Yeah, no, I think they oversell it.
Yeah,
they oversell their capabilities.
I see what they, because then that kind of puts them in a higher rank. I get it. I get it. I don't want to, because I definitely have a lot of respect for that game, the Somm game. I definitely, because of the history that you have to learn.
It's a craft.
Yeah, you definitely.
Just like comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing is about comedy, you don't need to learn history. It helps.
Depending on the bit. But yeah, but the thing, what I was comparing it to is just like, if you have your bit and it's like, if you just read it, it's boring, monotone, blah, 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 blah. But if you hype it up and sell it, you're going to get a better reaction. Right? I mean, that's what the Sommelier is too. Like, if they just write down the fucking spiel and just monotone it to you, it's going to be boring.
They're salesmen. They're genuinely the car salesmen of the wine world.
Malbec has thrived in Argentina since the 1800s. Cuttings were transplanted from their original home in France. You know what I mean? Like, you just put a fucking British accent on anything, dude. It'll sell.
I was getting more New Zealander vibes off that.
I can't watch documentaries narrated. I can't watch documentaries narrated in like an English accent.
So you've never heard Benedict Cumberbatch try and say penguin?
No.
No. Oh, you need to.
Penguin.
No, he is penguin. Oh God. No, you need to look up that audio clip if you can. Edit it into the fucking thing right here. It is amazing.
Malbec. Yeah, no, I haven't. That's one of the things though, dude. Is hold on. What's wrong with the fucking Brit? What's wrong with the Brit? Fucking a documentary I can get down. It's not the Brit fucking telling me how to live as an American on the fucking news. That shit I can't fucking get down with.
It's all the same.
1776. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Fucking red coat motherfuckers.
No, I don't know. It's just like I said. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Like it just I don't know if it's my brain. Like just I don't know. I just can't do it. I can't sit through an hour and a half of it.
There was a good documentary. It's called All Wars Are Rich Men Wars, Rich Man's Wars, and it has this guy who does the narrate, the host of the whole thing or whatever, does the documentary, but he's got this British voice. He's got this. And then the bankers, they was just going to take over the whole country, and people was like, you know what, go ahead, because we do what the bankers tell us to do, and it's like, I was like, dude, what kind of fucking, but it's like hard hitting, like shit. He's like, you see those train tracks right there? Do you think the American people would be happy that Ford Motor Company made those train tracks that go right into Auschwitz? You think they'd like that?
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, this guy's hitting with some fucking hardcore facts over here.
Oh, man, he's pouring heavy
fucking just pouring over here, dog.
I killed this cork by accident. The cork expanded.
That's the old pepper. That's what we used to do with the Jim Beam back in the day. You take the top, you throw across the fucking room, and you're like, you know what? We won't need that son of a bitch. We're finishing the bottle, fuckers.
So we're moving on to our first white. This is actually a larger brand. I've heard of it before.
Slave owners?
No. This is Chateau Saint Michel.
Michel. From
this-
where valley? Columbia?
Michelle.
What valley?
What is it? Columbia Valley?
Columbia Valley.
Oh, it's a Riesling.
Yeah, it's a sweet
It's
Riesling.
my shit right here.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
Riesling.
Jesus. Here he comes. Dude, just naturally, did you see that? The pinky just went out. The pinky just went
Oh,
out.
it's a Riesling?
No.
It's a Riesling? Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in on this because as somebody who studied wine briefly and then was like, oh, this is horseshit. I will say Rieslings are the best wine made by humans. They have such a range. They can be sweet. They can be dry. They can have tons of different flavor notes in them.
I just know my wife, whenever she's like, grab a wine, I'm like, well, tell me what it is. It's always like I think it's Charles Mondavi. I think Riesling. Like, that's what she drinks.
Yeah.
It's Montevi. It's Montevi.
What was that? I was like, you know my...
It's not Montevi. It's Montevi.
Wasn't that Ben Stiller's assistant's name in Dodgeball, the big black dude on the back of the scooter? Or he was the scooter driver and Ben Stiller was on the back. Michel, remember?
Oh yeah, Michel. No, Riesling's good. I like a good Gewürztraminer. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's the
He's in the
sweet.
cooler.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go. Those are the sweet ones. The Gewürztraminer.
This one's actually pretty dry.
Really?
Gewürztraminer is.
Bro, you brought the stash, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Also, this Chateau Saint Michel. This is from Walmart as well. I don't actively.
That's Mikey shit right there, son. Michel.
I prefer Walgreens wine, dog. Something in a nice box. You know, with a little bladder inside of some cardboard.
He's
You know
like
what I
he's
mean?
like he's like that Riesling from a box, but it's the Riesling is spelled Riex Ling.
Two E's.
Riesling.
Riesling, brought to you by Nipsey.
Too soon.
Pour
too
some
soon.
out for the
Too
Nipsey
soon.
hustle.
It's Mikey Too Soon Sliming, bro.
Yeah, seriously. Real quick, talk about too soon. They just had a guy die at the the West Rim. 31 years, they finally had somebody fall over and die over the side at the.
He was taking a selfie or something, right?
Taking a selfie, tripped and fell, went over 1,000 feet, boom, bam, right? And I was like, I hope he had video, right? I go, even if the phone gets destroyed, I go, the video will be up in the cloud. And I go like this. I go with him. They'll both be in the cloud. Yeah, dude. And I said that because I told my tour that then because we were talking about it the next morning, dude, and fucking crushed. They're
for
fucking
sure.
dying, dude.
For sure.
Oh God, that's
Sad. Yeah, that's sad. It's tragic all the way around, dude. But that's why you don't fuck around out there.
Oh, no. Not
So you don't fuck
especially
around.
at high places like.
Someplace where you could trip and fall and die, you don't fucking go doing the fucking moonwalk staring at a selfie stick. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable,
Like,
isn't it? Unbelievable, like that.
People are still using selfie sticks in 2019.
I use a selfie stick, dog. It's
yeah.
fucking great.
You're old, so.
It's fucking great.
Yeah,
It's with Bluetooth technology too.
Yeah, it's no, that's like I remember reading about that. It was last week, wasn't it? It was recently.
No, it was just a couple days ago.
Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess last week, but it also it turns into my tripod, so it's a double whammy.
Okay. If it's the double whammy, I can accept it. If it's a unitasker.
Yeah. But dude, I mean, don't knock the selfie, bro. You might need to fight your way out of a crowd.
Yeah, for sure. We were just in Japan, which is one of the highest technology advanced countries in the world. They were still walking around with selfie sticks.
Well, dude, technically you don't.
But they've gotten more advanced. Like you said, there's Bluetooth control over them now. There's
dude, they have those the gimbals. They have they're electronic. The fucking little periscope thing that goes out, so they can. Then they have it's like a Mobi. It just fucking goes around. It's all on a thing. Actually, I want to buy one of those on Wish, but even the cheap ones are like $100 or like $70 some. But the thing about the selfie, real quick, is if you do it right, you're just holding it like right here while you're walking, and it's filming you perfect. So you can just walk and you just do that, and you don't, like when you have this shit gets tiring when you're holding your hand out for a while. But you just hold that fucking thing there. I'm going to be using it out at the dam. I'm going to start live streaming and fucking and
Rest it
ripping
on your
people.
hip.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I use a monopod on my GoPro. Have you seen my GoPro setup?
No, I
I
haven't.
got to bring it around, but it's I use like a monopod, so it it goes all
It's
the
like
way
a
down.
walking stick?
But if you hold it, like fold it down, it's like 6 inches.
See, I'm a super weirdo because
fold me down. I'm like 6 inches.
Yes, sir.
even though I'm a millennial, I'm kind of like anti-technology in the way that people like will just constantly take photos at concerts, or if they're viewing something beautiful and they got to stop and be like, oh, let me get a picture of this for my Instagram. Like that bothers me. Like stop and savor the moment in the moment. Don't live for social media. Don't live for people on the internet and getting that applause just because. If it's one thing if social media is your job, it's another thing if you're pausing your life and your enjoyment of something to take a photo. If that photo's for you, that's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, do you think they enjoyed doing it?
I think they get a ton of enjoyment out of it because they want the likes. It's like a hit.
Oh no, it's definitely social media and the likes and the like system and all that stuff. It is it is a drug. It triggers dopamine spikes.
Yeah,
it's a fact. I mean, I check it to see if people fucking liked what I put up. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to see, because I'm trying to go by.
Especially when you throw a joke out there.
I'm trying to see if that actually goes by, if it's something that I need to do. I need to take this one.
Yeah, go ahead. So, yeah, no, that's the thing, too. But like you're saying about the, like the live streaming and the pictures, it's like, how much fun is the party?
Yeah.
If you're at the party on your phone.
Yeah, no.
Like I like to go to the party where I'm like, fuck, we forgot to take one picture.
Yeah.
That's how I party. I'm always like, dude, we didn't take one picture.
Like,
or I forgot my phone in the car and didn't even give a fuck.
Yeah, no, I finally got to see my favorite band of all time this past summer. I got to see Incubus for the first time in concert. And
that's terrible.
What?
You paid for that?
Are you shitting on Incubus? I will fight you.
I'll fight you. I will take my wine and I will go home.
No. I am far more aggressive than that, despite this demeanor. No, and so, but like the entire, like when Incubus, from the point Incubus took the stage to the point they left the stage, I didn't pull out my phone. I didn't do shit. I wanted all that just captured in my own memory. Like that is for my personal enjoyment. And if you weren't there, too bad.
What songs of Incubus would I know?
Probably the stuff off the Make Yourself album. It was the highest peak of mainstream popularity with them.
If you
Stellar.
hear if you hear the music, you hear the voice, you'll know. But
yeah,
I never liked him.
That's his favorite band.
Oh, really? It was never like my gig.
No, and if it's not your thing, that's okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, I never liked him. I never got into him, but I never disliked him.
Who'd they tour with?
They weren't bad.
They were with Jimmy Eat World, that the tour I saw them on.
The dude, the guy's name, the lead singer's name was Brandon.
Brandon Boyd.
Yeah, Brandon Boyd.
Is.
Oh, okay. Is.
Sorry.
I was say. Well, I don't know if he was one of those guys, because I know recently a lot of...
Here. I'm hoping you guys don't focus on demonetization, but...
I know it. I know it. It's, I got you.
And because it's YouTube, I can just close it out and it turns off.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about any of that shit, dude. The fucking opening song I use is the Melvins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, yeah. Sorry. I had my
You're fine.
My son called, but it was like a butt dial or something.
No, so you were saying about you went to the Incubus concert. You didn't
and
get
it was
phone.
just straight up like, I took 0 photos. And it's just, I want to be there, in the moment and enjoy it for what it is. Before that, whatever. I wasn't a huge Jimmy Eat World fan. They're good. I like them, but they're not why I went to the concert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally.
So before that, sure, take selfies, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the minute the reason you're there takes the stage, that phone goes away for me.
But those people that do that, the reason they're anywhere is to gram it, is to put it on Instagram, is to put it on social media. That's their whole existence.
I don't get that.
That's the priority.
Yeah,
like those Instagram models and
What's
those
sad
influencers.
is like the artist needs those people now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a symbiotic relationship where like the corporation
I'm just
does.
starting up as a comedian, and I'm like, shit, do I need to make an Instagram?
Fuck yeah, you do.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I was like, because how else do I attract a Gen Z demographic? Like, because like millennials, a lot of us still use Facebook, so I'm fine there. Like, I use Facebook regularly. I'm on it like 4 times a day, mostly like when I'm taking a shit, and so like that's an easy access. Just check Facebook, what's going on, what are like the first 50 things in my feed, depending on how long the shit is, and what's going on.
I find myself looking shit so I can pounce on. But
That's what I'm saying. You got to be there quick to get the quick bite for sure. Like that's what I mean. Like that's how I got that thing last week for that gig for you. I was just like refresh. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll just sit there and do that and just go through shit. And like I've been trolling a lot lately on Facebook and the groups. I love the trolling. The trolling's been really good to me. I don't know why. It's just satisfying at some point.
I've never really gotten into that.
But I was gonna say, yeah, you need some level because it amplifies your thing. Like I've taken it, like my Instagram has pretty much turned into a place for me to like kind of do my little one joke fucking ThinkStopper memes. Like these things that just kind of don't go with the social norms. And that's what I've just used it for. It's what it's like.
So
my
let
thing.
me ask you this: how long till we're putting our Instagrams on business cards?
People do it every day.
No, as I say,
Comedians
Really? Is
do
that
it.
already a thing? Like, am I
Comedians,
just out of the loop?
especially in the comedy world.
yeah, I don't have.
Now I need to get all these reprinted. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't. I was gonna say, I don't on mine. I think I don't have the logos on it, but it has like, at Instagram Tresmala, at Twitter, Twitter
Yeah.
at
Like
Tresmala.
I don't tweet either. Like I have a Twitter, but I don't use it.
I see. I linked up my Twitter to my Instagram, so when I post on that, it posts
dual
on
posts?
the other one.
See, I would do that because it's a convenience thing. But like,
Yeah, I'd have zero interaction on Twitter. People tag me, I'll go on there, and I'm like, oh shit, I've been tagged and fucking commented on like fucking 30 some odd posts. I'm like, fuck, I never go here.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, but no, you need it out there. You got to do it because so many different people will find you from different places. Like
Yeah.
I need to check. Like, a lot of people, they do most of their shit on Instagram. So like, I'll text people and Facebook. I use instant messenger on the messenger on Facebook quite a bit for a lot of my communications because.
I mean that's how I'm here.
It just it just seems it's just that's just kind of the thing. But a lot of people, it's Instagram. So I'll go in there and I'm like, oh shit, I got notifications and and they regularly hit me up on that and I'm like, oh fuck, that's the thing that when they wake up in the morning, they're checking out Instagram before they're checking out Facebook. You know what I mean? They're checking out like me, I go through I go through all my emails, make sure there's nothing important there, and then I'll go to my news or like social media and see what like people. I'll see what the fucking left is offended about. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much
for
it.
sure.
You know what I mean? I'll see what the right's being fucking idiotic over, and I'll see what the fucking left is fucking having a problem with.
Yeah.
And then I kind of determine my day.
Like
Where I'm gonna go with my jokes.
so.
Sure. Well, especially too in your line of work, you need to be like current topics,
Yeah. No.
ready
Like
to rock.
I was writing.
I'm like months ahead of people already with like shit that's old to me.
Yeah,
That's what's fucked up, dude.
Well, and it's weird because, like, when I started writing comedy, before I was even performing, I was just like, okay, I need to start writing to start, getting myself into it. And I was writing all these political stuff, but all the political stuff, like, by the time I was like, oh, I'm going to start performing, it was all old. Like, it was just like, the sphere moves so quickly now.
That's the problem with doing current event jokes, is you gotta do current event jokes, and hopefully it's something that's
you can open with them. You could use them in your opening.
or you can use it as like a riff or something like that. But like for an joke to make it in your act, it has to have a good ripple,
Yeah.
It has to like stay in to where like people can, you know, it's like a OJ joke or it's something like that. You know what I mean? It's like something that happened in the news. It's, you know, but
Like a lot of the stuff I've been
current event jokes. Real quick though, they're great. Current event jokes are like really great for like joke writing.
Yeah.
And finding connections and you know, incongruence, congruent and incongruent things that like makes a match, and they lob a lot of stuff. So it's a really good, treat it as like a good exercise, a writing exercise, because then you'll like find those things in life that will help shape the act, you know. Or
Yeah, like
or
a lot
whatever.
of the stuff I've been riffing on lately is like Jesse Smollett and Cardi B. Like those two have just blown my mind with what's been going on recently with them in the press. One of the best ones is like I never thought I'd see Jesse Smollett and Donald Trump in the same light, where both of them have been at the point where they're not being accused of crimes and crimes aren't being pressured against them, but at the same time they're not exonerated of those crimes. And that strikes me as very polarizing.
Man, yeah, that one got me on that Harvard.
Yeah.
We'll get you some Tums.
Is that common with wine? The heartburn?
I don't.
Is it the acidity?
I can see it, but yeah, for some reason today, whatever I ate today isn't like it's set this off. All right, so I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try the Chateau.
Saint Michel.
Say Michel
Saint.
but it's Ste.
Yeah. French. It's fun.
Yeah, Chateau Ste. Chateau Saint. Saint Michel. Saint Michel.
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 Columbia Valley.
You know, I used to not like white wine. The only time we drink white is when we're all out of red.
No, reds are great, but I definitely think whites have their place at the table.
Well, you know, now with that heartburn,
Contains
anything-
sulfites.
sulfates.
You'll be fine.
I'm saying it in French.
We all gotta die of something.
Is there, Mike? You gotta let me. I want to write something down. I want to see what you on your paper. I want to write down on your paper. I want to see how you pronounce this.
Uh-oh.
Oh God. Also, I love your little sketch art there. That is fantastic.
Oh, my little doodles.
Yeah. Reminds me of my dad.
I'm always doodling.
It's
Always. That's how all my notebooks in school look like. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
yeah.
too.
the
Yeah,
teacher would be like, "You even paying attention?" I'm like, "Run it back.
Yeah,
run
yeah,
it back.
yeah.
Let's talk. Like,
no,
run it back."
that's how I'd have to pay attention because I have to be doing something in order to hear. Because if I'm listening to it, then I just start going off into outer space.
Oh, yeah.
This one here. This is a good debate right here because is it potable?
Yeah,
It's potable,
It is
right? But you
potable.
want to say potable
so many people say potable.
because they think like is it able to be put into a pot?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the
I'm
thought
guilty.
process there.
I will straight up admit.
I have a friend who swore up and down that Subaru was an Australian car company because it sounds like, because they have the Outback, Subaru Outback.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, they have the Outback. The Outback's Australian. Kangaroo, Subaru. Like that was his thought
Holy
process.
Well, and
shit.
also remember they used to have Paul Hogan fucking Crocodile Dundee pimp that shit.
So he was like, it's a fucking, you know, but it's like hilarious.
Subaru definitely says no, but yeah, it's potable. But
I got that in my Survivor class, my basic Survivor skills class. You got to learn that term.
yeah, what's funny is because a good buddy of mine works for a water company, and everybody in the water company and him and stuff, they would say, yeah, you know, you got to get potable water, and you know, it's got to be potable. And I'm like, you mean potable?
Yeah, like
And
potable.
he goes, shut the fuck up. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm not trying to correct you. He goes, is that what it means? I don't know what it means, but that sounds way better than potable because I feel like he goes, you know, he's like, they call me Google and
Yeah.
shit. They're like, you're fucking Google, so you fucking know, you know. And I was like, no, it's potable water. And he's like, dude, I'm going back. I'm genius now. He's like,
Yeah.
I'll go back. So he called me up and he's like, bro, I just schooled my fucking manager. It's fucking potable. You know what I mean? He's like, it's potable. So that's why I threw it out there because I forgot what you said, but yeah.
That's fucking great.
I love when people like fuck up the like common phrases and shit. You know, like you know
The Rickyisms.
yeah, like you know, slowpoke. the term slowpoke. Mm-hmm. So like I have this friend, he's from South Africa, and he says slow boat. Like he's like, quit being a slow boat. Like I'm like, the fuck did you just say?
A slow boat.
He's like, slow boat. He's saying, and I'm like, no.
And he says slow boat.
And then the other day I was arguing with someone on Facebook.
Banana boat.
And they told me, well, you're not the brightest crown in the box, are you? And I was like, the
Crayon?
Crown? I was like, spell crown. Like, is that how you pronounce the word crayon? You know the term, like, you're not the brightest crayon in the box?
Was it voice to text or
No,
something?
no. She was dead serious. She's like, no, crowns are bright. You're not a bright one. And I was like, oh
crown.
shit, you're fucking dumb.
Oh,
I was like, you're calling me dumb, but you're fucking dumb when you do it. Like, you have a dumb way of calling me dumb.
She said you're not the brightest crown in the box.
Yeah, the saying is you're not the brightest crayon in the box.
You know what's funny though is my wife, we still don't know because she was like, but my wife called crayons crowns. And we're like, what the fuck?
Well,
like,
that's why I know some
everybody
way.
in my family was like, what'd you just say? And she's like, a crown. You're right. I mean, a crayon.
And then here, I'm going to give you a text that I got from a customer one day.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you got to read it, and it's fucking hilarious.
Here we are talking wines. Now we're going into bad grammar.
Well, it's the best. Well, you brought up fucking...
Sorry, potable water. Yeah, see, dude.
No. This, I have something on my phone right now that relates to this. It was a thread I found. Somebody screenshotted it and posted it to Facebook. But it was about how the English language, you can manipulate it. And
very.
Any verb can become a noun. Or no, any noun can become a verb if you just don't give a fuck. So, one of the ones that I really love is I like to velociraptor around my house at 2 a.m. Or my headache makes me want to clothesline into a wall. Why do you understand these?
Yeah. I can't. Oh, is this it? Is this right here? No, this is, man, I lost this text. My battery's going to die.
So one of the examples is they ask, why do these make some semblance of sense? And somebody says, because brains don't brain logically. And the response to that is, brains do brain logically, but when English doesn't logic Englishly, brains itself to logic that English.
So this is an angry customer. The first part of the text is he's talking shit through a text, and so I give him the address, and I'm like, he's like, what's that? And I'm like, that's the address. And he's like, what about it? And I'm like, pull up or shut up, like fucking, bring it to the office. And then he says, I'll say what I said to your face, Eagle Boy. You're on a power trip. And I'm like, cool, come to the office. And then look what he texts me back, dude, in the white.
What, down here? Or
let me see. Did you lose it?
No, where it says it takes 2 to tango.
But look at the way he spelled it. Look at the spelling in there.
Okay, it says it takes 2 TOO. It takes 2 TOO tango. Shit for brains. Wow, this is tough
Christ.
to read.
It hurts your brain to even think about it, doesn't it?
It takes 2 tango. Shit for brains. You like to make enemies in the street with total strangers. You are one dumbass motherfucker. Keep pushing your luck, and someone will lose their cool with your fat ass.
Yeah.
LOL. Bye, crybaby cock blocker. Uses the crybaby cock blocker.
But the way he wrote it out, dude, it's like it hurts your fucking brain, like even to grasp the way this dude talks.
It takes 2.
The voice you gave him, he clearly cooks meth on his weekends.
Just read the top line.
Oh God, it hurts.
It takes T-O. That's his 2.
That's 2.
Which is the number 2. So he has the number 2 as T-O, and then the one that's supposed to be T-O, he put T-O-O.
It takes 2.
So I wanted to put that. I want to put that on a bumper sticker. Shit for brains.
Shit for
I'm
brains.
moderately intoxicated, and I went to public school, and my grammar is better than that.
I love how he follows it up with shit for brains.
You fucking shit for brains. Shit fucking
dumb fuck mother shitter. Just fucking takes two.
Fat baby cock blocker. What he's a crybaby, fat crybaby cock blocker.
Have you ever seen that movie Chappie?
No, I've heard of it though.
No,
it's a
so-
kids movie, right?
No. It's an adult movie, and it's basically about AI.
I was gonna say it's about the computer or not a robot.
Yeah, it's about the robot, and these gangsters are trying to teach it how to be gangster, and they teach him this one line, and it has motherfucker in it, and because he's only got the intelligence of like an 8-year-old, he says the line, and then he follows it up with fuck mutta, and it's like pure on South African accent, just yelling fuck mutta as loud as he can. And that's the vibes I'm getting right there.
Oh yeah. No, that dude was hilarious, dude. It was funny because what started all that was his name. I'll fucking say his name. I don't give a shit about this fucking piece of shit. His name's Tommy Burt, right? Burt is the last name.
Burt.
And Tommy Burt. And he was bitching to me on behalf of someone else. And I just was being a little funny. And I just was like, hey, bro, don't get so Burt hurt over this. And he was like too dumb to realize I was playing off his last name. And that was the start of it. He was like, you too dumb to realize the saying's butt hurt. And I was like, bro, we get it, but you're Burt hurt, dude. And then he fucking, so it was like super funny.
On blast.
And then he just fucking follows up with that whole fucking, it takes two. It's like, I can't. I was done with that, dude.
Oh, God.
It takes two tango. Shit for brains.
Shit for brains, fat baby cock blocker.
You fat baby Jesus cock blocker. Piece of shit over here.
And that's the funny thing. I was like, bro, you call me a cock. Do you even know what that term means? Like, I'm not cock blocking you, bro. Like,
Use cock blocking like fucking Buckaroo Banzai.
Banzai, Buckaroo, fucking. I gotta
You had
fucking
to
watch
do that
that
in the
movie.
middle of me drinking wine. I almost spit wine all over your mic.
Oh, glad you didn't, dude. Great way to hold the restraint right there, dude.
Dude, the people watching outside the hotel the other night was great, wasn't it?
People watching outside of
After the comic battle.
Where were we?
We're in the parking lot. Alexis Park.
Oh yeah, Lexus Park, dude. Fucking over there by the. So we just do a show, and or I just do a show. We're over at the thing, and we're at Lexus Park. Are you familiar with Lexus Park? Lexus Park is over by the Hard Rock Hotel.
They actually did a Yu-Gi-Oh thing there. I went to.
Okay, sweet. No, because that place
relatable.
hosts everything, you know.
Yeah.
So we're over there and shit, dude, and there's like, what was it, fucking like some Jewish wedding or some shit like that. There was some kind of Middle Eastern fucking wedding there after the show, and holy fuck, these people did not give a fuck who was in the road, who was
No.
They were fucking getting in their car and just zipping the fuck out of there. People are walking down. Cars are trying to come. They're going through. You can fit a business card in between, like how much space they're living between each other. BMWs, Range Rovers, fucking Mercedes and shit, dude.
It's fucking hilarious.
High end. But what else was going on with the people watching?
There was that, and then we met the dude,
Wiggy.
and then there was the two gay black dudes having the domestic dispute in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then there was the fucking Thriller video walkthrough. Fucking
Oh shit,
dude,
I
it was
forgot
fucking
that.
popping over there, bro.
Dude, so there's like this dude who's like security. He's got like a security look. I thought he was security or something. He had like the slacks and the, you know what I mean? Like he had like some, but dude was definitely physically handicapped, you know?
Yeah.
And he had like, you know, one leg is longer, one leg shorter than the other, kind of walk, you know, and like maybe the special hand, you know, kind of curled in, straight arm, like it didn't really bend at the elbow kind of deal, you know, like whatever. And black dude, but he just had this kind of drag the foot along. And then there's like another person that was walking with him, which I didn't put too much stock into them because I was watching the fucking, like how this dude got along. And as soon as old boy, and there's other people like walking just like from this wedding that let out. But when old boy walked by, fucking Slyman just hit like what was on everybody's mind. He's like, fucking Thriller video over here.
It's like we're on the set of the Thriller video, bro.
Oh,
It's fucking
that's
brutal.
fucked.
Dude, and like I think I was like the only one that caught it because I was fucking pissing myself. Like everybody's
That's all that was on my mind. I just was like, fucking, I could hear the bass line in my head, like, don't.
I could hear, was it fucking Vincent Price? Walking through the street. You know, like
the
whatever
laugh
fuck.
at the end, it was terrible.
Oh, God. Fucking
We're going
love
to hell.
Vincent Price.
We're going to hell. It's all good.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's some fun.
Bro, I've been saying for years. I got my seat already picked out. It's 4 over from Hitler, 2 behind Al Capone.
As long as I got my organs, I'm good. As long as I can take my organs to hell.
Yeah, man, we got to get into organ harvesting, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot to go. I'll do some research on it, and I don't know if we can find someone that really knows their shit on it, or if we're just gonna have to macho it up and do it.
I can always hit up my friend. I got a buddy, but we'll see, dude. You know, like we'll go through that. So,
You want this one, don't you? Because it's a Worcestershire.
yeah, I was gonna say let's get down. Well, hold on, I still got
Oh.
you fucking polished the bottle off on the last one on me, so I'm just saying, like, yeah,
On the Riesling pieces.
yeah, I'm just trying to pull it in. You know, I always wanted. They had that. There was that fucking old trick where you mix the wines and like you could turn the red into white.
I think that's for getting it out of the carpet.
OxyClean, was that the no?
No.
White wine to
I
clean
will
red
say
wine.
I will say this about OxyClean. I had a hoodie.
Oh, it works.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I had a hoodie that had a oil stain on it. Like I spilled fryer oil on it. And this was my favorite hoodie, and I was really pissed about this.
Fucking deep fryer accents.
Yeah. And I filled up the bathtub with just like lukewarm water, put that in there, put like 4 scoops of OxyClean, pushed it down, let it sit overnight, and the next day ran it through a washing machine. It came out fucking spotless. That shit's amazing.
Yeah, no, OxyClean's good stuff, dude. I've been using it for years.
It works.
No, yeah, totally.
So does the knockoff
And
stuff.
you can
'cause I
use it like as a you can
Is
use
that a
it.
Billy Mays product?
Totally,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know what's funny too is I have when I had the beard like going full blown, and then I have the same kind of blue collared shirt, you know, like
Yeah.
it rolled up. And I do it when I do my tours. I'll be like, yeah, I'm like, how messed up is this? I go, I look like Billy Mays,
Yeah.
you know, like, and I just kind of riff on whatever. I don't have any like jokes for it, but so yeah, let me choke back the old Chateau Simchel.
That's this one here?
No, that's this one. You guys are about to get this.
Oh, okay.
I've already been drinking on it.
And what are we
because-
doing with the? I mean, what am I supposed to be? This is a sweet. It's soothing.
Sell it, man. Sell it.
What do you taste?
Me, I taste like some sweet fucking.
Grape flavor?
No, I taste like spring break out in Mesquite. I'm tasting some cheap tit, fucking maybe a little hint of chlorine from the spa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no. I definitely there's more of a floral.
Floral. It's like stripper body spray mixed with
There's a little of that. There's also like
See, these are the descriptors that the common man can relate to.
Yeah, it's not that.
This is what the sommelier board needs to adopt.
There's just like
Forget
this-
cigar ash.
well this is
cigar ash.
yeah, this is what Gary Vaynerchuk did.
Yeah, he's big in that.
He was like, dude, I just started like critiquing wine in like everyday language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, yo, dog, shit smells like socks. You know that fucking tinge you smell from fucking sweat socks? He's like, that's it. He's like, what I'm gonna tell you, it tastes like a truffle that you've never fucking tried in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like an
you know,
unscrubbed goat's nipple.
yeah, you
Just
know what I mean?
fucking
Like,
disgusting.
I'm gonna go for you know that
$20
smell.
to who can accurately describe what an unscrubbed goat's nipple tastes like.
Oh, like that, like this
Okay.
red right.
No, I'll tell you what it tastes like. What it tastes like. I'll tell you what it smells like. It tastes like, you know, the smell of your fucking dog's paw.
No, because I'm not a weirdo.
You know the dog.
Yeah.
Dog has that smell of the paw. That's what the fucking.
That's what the unscrubbed goat nipple. That's what it smells like.
Because they lay on the ground and it's right by their hose.
Gotcha. It's like if you ever like wiped up milk on the counter, whatever, like with a rag, and then forgot to rinse the rag and come back to it. That's what it smells like.
Oh, good God.
That's what it smells like right there. It's like when you take a broken arm out of a cast.
Oh.
You know, it's like that.
So, like, this is the way you got to describe stuff, okay? Like, a lot of times people, they're like,
Yeah, grab that.
yeah, hold on 1 second. I'll call her right back. A lot of times people are like, oh yeah, you know, like you can taste the room, you can taste and but basically if like you're talking about a wine or an alcohol or something like that, you can taste the room. It's almost like it's a mold. It's a level of mold that you can smell. It's like you can taste the room. You know what I mean?
Like those couple times when it rains and we come in here.
Yeah. What I
It's
say?
got that funk.
I'd be like instead of saying you can taste the you can taste the room, you know, be like, you know that funk when you pop, or you know that funk when you pop the lid on your washer after you left the fucking clothes in there for 3 days.
Yeah.
I was just about
You know
to
what I
say
mean?
that.
Like, and then you can never get that smell off. Maybe it might soak it in some OxyClean to see if we can do that, but
You got to run it through with like white vinegar. It's the only thing that kills it.
That's all we use, or I don't want to say that's all we use, but my wife uses white vinegar for it. That's one of the best things for cooking, dude.
Yeah, cooking,
I mean,
cleaning.
for not cooking, for cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, for cooking, we throw it on the salads, you know, the white vinegar.
Oh no, fuck white vinegar on salad.
Well, just a little bit. I was trying to back him up, you know.
No.
I didn't want him to drown that hard.
If you're doing vinegar on salads, you need
Red
like
wine,
apple cider,
balsamic,
red wine, something with flavor, not fucking.
I like
white
red
vinegar.
wine vinegar on the food, on my sandwiches too. I don't do the balsamic. My wife likes the balsamics.
I like balsamic glaze. Like when it's reduced down and it's almost like a syrup, it brings out the sweetness.
There's a good product. I think it's Rachel Ray has a balsamic glaze. You could buy it's in like a squirt bottle.
Yeah, I don't buy hers, but I
Yeah.
generally it's in a squeeze bottle.
Throw that on some tomatoes, some cheese. You're good to go.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm consuming considerably more alcohol than you guys, but I have a sore throat and a cough, and alcohol
Is
a natural.
wine good for the sore throat?
Alcohol is a natural cough suppressant, and alcohol is a natural numbing agent. So that's why I'm constantly like sipping on it, and I'm slightly more tipsy. I'm like suddenly aware of how tipsy I am.
Well, be careful there, dude.
Yeah,
Don't be getting too much. But
I'll chug a couple bottles of water.
but
We have to make sure that he makes it home safe before we post this podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
No. If I die, just put it in memoriam.
Just be like
Spoiler alert. There's an amazing scene at the beginning of the latest Marvel movie, in front of Captain Marvel.
give me a little Gewürztraminer.
Yes. They replace all the Marvel characters with Stan Lee,
That's cool.
and it is it's a beautiful tribute.
I didn't do shit.
Where'd that come from? Out front?
Oh shit! Are we about to be robbed?
No,
I got my knife.
I'm not worried about that.
I don't have anything on me. For
I think
them
there's
to
guns
steal.
before they even get in here, right?
Edit it out. And
But
post.
you were saying what now? I forgot.
No, there's a beautiful tribute to Stan Lee at the beginning of Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, I'm glad. You know, I'm really glad that's a thing, dude. Because, you know, that dude. He was really humble with his deal towards the end. You know, he was really trying to like make it back in and be, you know. He wasn't trying to be a recluse towards the end, you know,
Yeah,
when
no,
shit was
and
coming apart, you know.
I mean, that man built my childhood. Like, I love superheroes and I love comic books. So, you know, I inherently love the MCU. Excuse me. And I actually, I got to meet Stan several years ago. It was one of the best experiences of my life. So I'm super happy that, you know, I got to meet him, and I have, you know, signed comic book that he wrote. He's just an amazing individual, and he will be missed.
Yeah, dude. You know what's funny is I've never been a comic book guy. When I was a kid, you know, like I never got into it. I got into it a little bit, but Never got into superheroes and shit, dude. You know, it was like kind of crazy. So it's funny is like, I go out and I have these glasses that I wear and they're red lenses, and everybody always makes
Cyclops.
everybody always said, you know, like always like, you know, coming up and start talking to me and shit, and I'm just about it, and I was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I hate to be a dick, but like I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
I can give you enough information after the show that you'll be able to play it off and just not have to be like, oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I do. It's just like I'm not gonna get into it, and I don't want to lead them on or anything like that. You know,
that's fair.
And so I'm as honest as one could be. It's completely drug influenced. You know what I mean? Like that's just been my thing. It's what I do. But
There's a whole.
I was gonna say, there's a whole lot of commotion going on out over there. But everything all right there, Bubby?
Okay. Because
the display case out and knock the painting off the wall.
Oh, everything
okay,
all right? Okay, he's moving the old thing. But yeah, man, we should start wrapping it up over here. We're
Jesse James thought he was going to die in the back of a bail bonds office.
Yeah,
It's a horrible ending.
I thought this was a tattoo parlor. I'm so confused. The signage is ridiculous.
It says bail bonds, tattoos,
yeah.
podcast. We do it all over here, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Drink wine, fucking.
Yeah,
Well, you know, if you guys want to have me back, I'll bring beer next time. We'll do a beer tasting.
as I say, I don't really drink beer anymore, but
I can do
tasting.
I can do gourmet stuff. Gourmet beers.
Let's do a whiskey tasting.
Ooh.
We can do whiskey.
Jesus
and
Christ,
scotch.
how
I got
much
a
money do
guy-
you think I'm made out of?
I got a guy that does whiskeys. We should bring him in.
Can you invite me?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Deal.
Deal.
Yeah, dude, we got to have our official voice on the taste.
For sure.
Taste buds.
The fucking.
Yeah, no, anytime you guys want to do food stuff or I'm also down to talk about plenty of other topics, whether it be politics.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do apologize if I was a little scatterbrained. I feel like I'm kind of like.
Well, I mean, you were in the sun golfing all day, and the sun does crazy things to your mind.
Well, yeah,
It's not Trez's mind. Trez's mind doesn't. It's the other stuff I'm worried about. It's the other stuff, not the sun. No, vitamin D never hurt him.
Yeah, yeah, no, we kind of went all over the place. I mean, we're gonna touch on we touched on some stuff. We went around. We covered the gamut a little bit there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't go interdimensional beings, or we didn't go too crazy, but I think I think we got a little out there where I had fun.
We have a great follow-up because I prepared more material than we used today because we were all over the place, so that works out. So, like, next time we can talk about, how we're drastically overfishing and we need to change that up. Or, I'm down to change the subject. If you want to talk
Actually-
about how Jeff Bezos is the fucking devil, I can talk about that too.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, but what? Real quick about the overfishing. Yeah, there was a time back in like the early 2000s. I know it was like it had to have been before 9/11. Might have been around 2001 before that happened. But I remember them saying by 2050 there won't be any fish to left in the ocean. I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. Da, da, da. Now, when you hear about Fukushima still leaking in the fucking ocean, and you hear about these, how these now like GMO or like these Frankenfish that they have that they're using in these like supposedly these fish farms like they have, but they're like in these big nets out in the ocean. How like these fish, they fucking get out, and the stuff that they're carrying gets like the normal fucking salmon sick.
Well,
And-
so farm salmon, I actually have a little bit of information on that. Farm salmon, what color do you think it is?
As far as the fish itself, or
Yeah, like in the
Brown.
flesh.
Is it brown?
It's gray.
I was gonna say, isn't
gray because so what turns salmon pink is that when they're in the wild, they eat krill,
yeah.
which is also what gives flamingos their pink color. So what happens with farm raised salmon when they're fed kibble? The kibble is made out of like chicken fat and other stuff, and it's not healthy for the animal. And so they end up gray, and then to sell it to Americans, because we expect salmon to be pink.
Mm-hmm.
They dye the meat. It is dyed pink.
Don't they dye like beef too red because it's usually like a darker brown?
No.
No, there's stuff that they use to like oxygenate it or
Okay,
No. Beef is naturally brown. The reason it turns red is the same reason you bleed red. It's because it oxidizes. So
well, there's something that they do. I know what you're talking about. That keeps it like a bright red color for versus when it starts to turn. Because technically, you want your steaks like brown in color.
well,
You know what I mean? Like
so
you want
brown
them, you want them to start turning.
brown and browning are two different things. When you have a steak and if you're aging it, it's going to get inherently brown on the outside, but when you cut into it, it's still going to be that nice juicy red.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah.
But when you're searing a steak, you want the Maillard reaction, which is the browning reaction that you get when you're cooking the flesh at a high temperature.
No, I'm not. But yeah, I wasn't bringing in cooking, but definitely you want that fucking.
Oh yeah,
you
that
want that
sear is
browning.
delicious.
Yeah. That's you need. It's kind of crazy that you mentioned that. Is I've been scaling back on like my pepper on my steaks and stuff. Just a tiny bit of pepper. It ends up being bitter. I've just been doing like salt. I've just been doing like mostly salt, and I've been using like pink Himalayan sea salt.
Your taste buds changing?
No, I know.
It's a thing that happens.
I know, but I saw a chef mention it, and I tried it, and I was like, "Holy cow, dude! It definitely tastes the steak sweeter with when I scale back the pepper."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I used to do an equal amount. It'd be equal amount of salt, be equal amount of pepper. So I just started scaling back. I'd still put pepper on.
What the fuck is this?
So this is the last wine. This is some really cool shit. This is Muscadel, which
Oh yeah.
So this is a dessert wine,
Which is almost the color of like a salmon. Now you'd want your salmon. It's close to that color.
It is very brown. And so what's cool about this is the sugar content is super high because they actually let
It looks like a flat soda. Looking into
they let the grapes turn into raisins before they make it into wine. So the sugar content is really high. So you end up with this very sweet, very raisiny taste.
It looks it just by looking at it, and I haven't even put my nose to it.
From these gnarled old vines comes Chambers. From the gnarled.
The gnarled?
Yeah,
It
this
says
is
that, the gnarled.
Give a shout out to the brand here. This is Chambers brand Muscadel.
Muscadel, 6 generations
this is actually
of Chambers wine
of all the
making.
wines today. This is actually the most expensive, because it's a very tiny bottle. What is it? Is it 300?
It's a
300 milliliter?
Where's my
It should be on the front.
375.
This dude loves his wines, bro.
Yeah. 375 milliliter bottle.
See,
and it was like $20 as opposed like this. Which one is it? This.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good price for a $20 fucking. In a restaurant, something like that's gonna go for fucking 80.
Yeah.
80 to 100.
And you're never going to order a bottle of this at a restaurant. Like
no, true.
You're
that's
going
true.
to get a glass for $20.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pardon me, you are correct.
Yeah.
on that. You
Like
definitely
this.
wouldn't.
The first one we started off with, the 19 Crimes Uprising, it was $8. To put that in comparison, and it is twice the size. It is it is the full 750 milliliter bottle.
From these gnarled old vines.
Descriptors are what sell your shit.
Was it? There's a crease. Ruthin.
Oh yeah,
Ruther Glen.
The other cool thing about
Muscadel, a dessert wine brimming of sweet and fresh muscadel flavors and aromas.
Muscadel and Muscat wines, they don't go bad in your refrigerator.
It's a product of Australia. It's fucking shite.
Australia.
Australia.
Oh, is it Australia?
Yeah, dude.
Shit, my
Time
bad.
to fucking call in that script, son. You got good eyes, but you get them L's and them I's together, and you're just like, put another shrimp on the
Particles.
the particulates.
This stuff is really cool in that despite it being $20 a bottle, it doesn't go bad like most wines. You know how wines and beers over time will skunk and they'll get rancid. This I've had in my refrigerator for over a year. It has traveled across country with me, and it still tastes as fresh as the day I opened.
I could tell it was expensive by the pour. It's a very, very meager pour on this one.
I didn't want to give you too much because it was very
I'm
sweet.
kidding, I'm kidding.
It's very
No,
sweet.
well, I can definitely smell the raisins.
It's got that old.
I can smell like a black licorice.
It's got like a leathery smell, like a leather.
Yeah, like a leathery ointment or like a tan, like a
Something
like a
like a
tan.
hide. Yeah, like a
hide.
yeah.
Yep.
Like you just walked into a Harley Davidson store.
A little bit of brake cleaner on there. But I could smell like the sugar too. Like you could smell it's like a candy. Like it smells, you know,
this
like when you
is-
stick your nose in like a bag of candy like that. You know, you smell like the sugar.
That's the Ajax.
Yeah, this is actually just brown bleach I used to clean my toilet. Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, I like how it's eating away my plastic cup.
Oh
I
wow,
like
it tastes. You know what's crazy? It tastes like fucking raisins.
Yeah.
You get that raisin taste. It tastes like you said that you make it.
You're eating a handful of sun-made raisins.
Does
Does it put you back in? So here's the question. Though.
Old ugly ass grapes used to give me fucking the fucking heebie-jeebies. The more claymation fucking grapes. Wow, it tastes just like fucking grapes, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. No. Because like raisins were a common thing that were packed in me for my elementary school lunch. So like.
Me too.
Does this take you back to elementary school? Like when you drink this, like mentally, do you?
Definitely, it's when you open up the box, and then all the raisins were compacted and compressed in to the shape of the box, and you take that
Sun-made
bite.
raisins.
And you just eat it all at once.
It's delicious, dude.
As one giant shoe.
This is good.
You put it in like it's a rub.
All right, next one we do grappas. We wouldn't last, dude.
Dude, I can bring whatever alcohol you want as long as it isn't above $20 a bottle.
You want that?
What is it?
The raisin wine?
Sure, why not? Why
Here, wait, get over the.
You can't
I don't
drink
want. No, I'm done. I'm
Yeah, don't pour it on the equipment. That's expensive.
right on the Zoom there.
Oh yeah, huh? I didn't see that.
Well,
Fuck,
between the
man.
weed and the wine.
And the edible.
Who had an edible?
I had one when I walked in.
Oh, thanks for sharing.
It was the
Yeah.
last one. It was the last one. We should have went
Wow.
by the shop. I didn't realize we walked right past the shop over there.
Yeah, but I'm not
Rude.
I'm not in the buying. I'm just in the doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all fucked up. I had a fucking edible. I had a fucking macchiato. I had a fucking patty melt. I had fucking 5 different wines here.
You know what?
Good witch.
While you're on the Starbucks thing, there is a drink on their menu that no one orders except for me, in my opinion.
Water.
No. Green tea frappuccino. If you haven't had it, go try it. It looks like a cup full of spinach green baby shit, but it tastes amazing.
That green tea's a big energy booster, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care about the health benefits. I just like the taste. Like
No,
that's-
but no, green tea will have you fucking going.
That's what I'm saying. Like I drink that some of that green tea. Just like you make it like iced tea, but green tea. Mm-hmm. I had to cut back on that, dude. That stuff's like rocket fuel.
well, if you like that, try Rubios. It's commonly marketed as red tea.
Mm-hmm.
It is also really good. It's a South African tea, if I remember correctly. But at this point, I'm like 13 glasses of wine in. So
Nice, nice. What? So how long have you been out here for?
I've been in Las Vegas for a total of 4 months.
Oh, you're brand new.
Yeah,
Brand new, dude.
I took that whole January new year, new you thing to the logical extreme.
What made you pack up and come here?
I got divorced.
Oh wow.
So I was like, I'm going to go chase my dreams and become a comic and do, my own shit. And I was working at a corporate restaurant that has a great transfer policy. And so I took advantage of that. Moved out here and, I got my shit together and, I'm trying to, just get by and do my weekly hustle and try to make friends, have a life out here, start over.
And how long you been doing comedy?
A month.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, brand new, dude. But
brand new.
again, it's all about what you're enthusiastic about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was
you're
talking.
into.
I was talking earlier about how I was writing political stuff, and I just stopped because it moves too fast, and I wanted to write something that would last me. So I'm doing a lot of observational humor, a lot of stuff that's based on, just me as a person. I'm working on writing, what would be my, if I ever got the chance to do like an entire full hour, if I wasn't just doing open mics. I would, doing what would be like a special about myself, because that's the most timeless thing in the room at the moment. Because at this point, my audience doesn't know who I am. So I'd rather, do something that's written about who I am and let them know where I'm coming from, and the background that I have.
Jesse, has anybody ever told you look like Kubiak?
No, but I have gotten.
Do you know who Kubiak is?
No.
Do you know who
Parker Lewis Can't Lose? Is that
Yeah.
what we're referencing? Yeah. Yeah, dude. Kubiak, bro.
See,
Kubiak
I've
from
got.
Parker
Lu-
Hang on
this
one
is
second.
this is from the late '80s,
Okay.
late '80s, early '90s. So
I've gotten
when were you born, dog?
1990.
1990. So you're as old as you're like my brother.
I actually just trimmed my goatee, but it was at a really fine point. So I got the Neidhart. He's a professional wrestler. He was part of the Hart family. I've gotten that before.
Neidhart,
Yeah, Neidhart.
Jim the Anvil.
Yeah, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I got that one recently, and I was just like,
I can maybe see in the eyes a little
well,
bit.
and also this was at like the full point.
a little bit
like,
longer. Oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
I
If
just-
you have that, yeah. If you have that longer, that I can see where somebody because
Except I'm fatter than he is.
well, the thing about Jim the Anvil was, like that was like his thing. He would fucking had that goatee and point out.
Yeah,
I was a big Anvil guy.
I was actually doing that, and then I just trimmed it recently, like literally last week.
Why? Any special?
No. It was
Well, I shaved my beard, so.
yeah, no. I've always done this goatee because otherwise I'm super baby faced and I get carded. Even though I'm a year and a half away from being 30 and I'm still getting carded.
It's all right. I just got carded the other day, dude. I'm like walking gray hair. You know?
No, so I always just keep a goatee because when I have a goatee, I don't get carded. And I was doing this full on point, and I was trimming it, trying to keep it level, and I just off trimmed it, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll just cut it off.
Yeah. That's the thing is why that's like when I grow. That's why usually when I grow facial hair, I don't try and shave or trim or do anything because it's hard to keep balance. And if they throw it off balance, so I just let it grow in naturally, and that's that.
The symmetry is really hard, but at the same time, like I'm recently single, so I'm trying to keep everything like on point. Not because I want another relationship, but just, I want to get laid.
Well, there's a formula to that. Dude.
Yeah, no, and it's all about
how you feel.
Well, and more importantly, it's been like 8 years at this point. So
8 years, what?
that I've been between starting the relationship, getting married, and getting divorced. Like it's 8 years overall, and I wouldn't change it. It was a great run while it lasted, but at this point I'm like, fuck, I gotta get back out there on the scene just to talk to people, and I'm doing like the Tinder thing, and that's weird.
That is weird to me because I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. My friends, I had some buddies. They were fucking cleaning up on like Yahoo singles, dime pieces, dude. And I was like, fuck. And I was I was already in a relationship, and then like Plenty of Fish came out, right? And my friends are killing it on like that, and they're doing all these like apps, and like I'm in these relationships, and then I get out, and then like I'm in another relationship, but like when I get in a relationship, dude, I'm like, I'm cool, man. You know what I mean? I'm not like, dude, I had my bartending days. Even when I was in a relationship, I'd be fucking every day. I've been very fortunate in my life to fucking have nailed a lot of broads, and it's nothing compared to like some people I know.
Women, we call
Whatever,
them.
yeah, but it's nothing. It's nothing compared to a lot of people I know. So I'm not like out there like oh, sleep. But it's like, you know,
Well,
I've
it's
been
to the point
fort-
now
I've
where
been fortunate.
girls are actually freaked out when a guy approaches them in public and like introduces themselves and talks to them. Like they're like creeped out by that.
Well,
And that was like how we had to do it in our day.
No,
like, you know,
like
well,
that.
that is true. But you know, the other thing too, dude, is chicks. They're having a hard time discerning, like what we would just be as like normal like conversation and stuff like that, just being polite. They're treating it as like a come on.
no, that's the thing. Like,
You
you know,
know?
times I've had like, not just me, but like you hear the stories of like, you like say hi to a girl. I have a boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck? You know what I mean? Or like you hear it was one of my cousins. She posted online. She's 21. She posted online like this creepy guy came up to me at the club and like introduced himself to me and like da-da-da. And I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Cause like I'm like, he just wanted to get to know you. Like he was introducing himself. You know what I mean? And I commented that, and she's like, if we don't meet like somewhere else, you don't just introduce yourself to strangers in public. And I'm like, damn,
See,
you guys are.
I don't get
That's
that.
crazy.
Like,
They're not from the era where you had to keep a fucking piece of paper and a pen in your fucking pocket and like, you know what I mean? Like get a phone
Oh
number.
jeez, dude.
How far back did that just go? But like that was the era.
But
like,
I
that's
never
the thing.
did. I never
See-
did. I never had a book. But yeah, I
Not
was
even
from
a book, just a piece of paper. Like, you know, just so like, hey, I got your number. I call you. You know, like if you didn't have a pen,
you had
were
or you pulled
slipping.
you got a pen or a marker and you wrote that shit up your arm.
I didn't need it.
Well, you still got to get the number. You still got to, you know what I mean? You'd be
You gotta
out
get
like,
those digits, man.
yeah, you got to get the number,
No,
bro.
man, I was like, you got to get it in the moment, or otherwise it ain't happening, dude.
Yeah, but how are you gonna remember the number? Because you didn't have cell phones. That's what I'm saying. You got to go home and call them and shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean,
Or no, are you talking about just like banging them behind the club next to the dumpster?
well, in a sense, yeah, man. Like,
Well,
it
that's a
was-
different
it
thing
was like a
too. But
man
I'm
of
saying
action,
like, you
but-
know, like you go to the mall and like, I'll get your number.
Oh yeah, no, but see, like back in the day, like I wasn't the number getting guy.
No.
You know what I mean? I wasn't the number. Like my friends were those guys. Like I just sat there, like I never like got and I was there, but I wasn't like doing that. It wasn't me. That wasn't like my thing. I always felt like that was chasing.
Yeah,
That
no,
was,
I understand.
I always felt like
That's
and
how I met my wife. I was 11 years old. She was like 12.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah.
And I met her at Pistol Pete's Pizza. I went up and got her number. I was like, I'll call you later.
I
you
mean-
know what I mean? Got her little number, wrote it down and shit. And I've known her ever since. We didn't go to school together. And I met her at like Pistol Pete's Pizza when we were like 11 and 12.
That's
dude,
amazing.
that's fucking dope, dude.
yeah. So all these years later, we're still hanging out.
That's awesome. My ex-wife, I'm not gonna put her on blast or anything. She's amazing. I still, I love her as a person. She's a great person. And I wish nothing but the best for her. We met. I was 13. She was 12. That's when we met. We met at
Jail.
Pedophile.
Fucking fucked up.
no.
Statutory.
We were at like a Christmas decorating party, and I was friends with the guy she was dating at the time, and then he decided to kiss her best friend at the party and like just start making out with her, and she was like, fuck this guy. And then I was like, hey, I went out and I just talked to her, and I was like, hey, calm down, I'm sorry he's an asshole. It was what it was. And then several years later, we started dating, and then several years after that we got married, and like we had a good relationship for 5 years. It's just we hit a point where our lives went in separate directions. She wanted to become an executive chef, own her own restaurant and stuff, and I was like, I want to pursue comedy. And we just we hit our point where our paths diverged. And if we meet up in the future again, that's cool, and if we don't, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Dude left his wife to be a comedian.
I didn't leave her to
That's
be a comedian.
hardcore.
She left me to be an executive chef.
He was like, I'll just do comedy. It's cool. It's cool.
It's like that. Was that show? Fuck. They had Artie Lang. That Crashers.
I don't know.
It was about the stand-up comedian. Whatever. Fuck.
You're too far from the mic.
No, I'm just. I can't think it. I can't hear myself in the fucking.
Yeah, no, I wish nothing but the best for her. I hope she takes. I'm gonna put her a little bit on blast here. I hope she takes the offer she got. She got a 6-figure offer. She's only been graduated from culinary school this year.
Dude, I like how you say I'm gonna put her on blast, and you're like, I hope she takes, and I was like, please say her meds, please say her meds, please say her meds. He's like, I hope she takes the job offer. Like, what the fuck? Dude?
Yeah, no, she got a 6-figure offer as somebody who's fresh out of culinary school.
Well, I have zero respect for fucking fresh out of culinary school. I'm a fucking dish dog. I fucking.
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
like,
no,
I'm
no,
a
no.
dish dog, dude.
She was in restaurants before she went to culinary school.
Hey,
and she's
fair
like-
enough. All right,
Yeah.
redemption.
She was there and was like, this is what I want to do, and then committed to it. And I'll give her more respect than me because
I was in culinary school, and one of the chefs I worked with was like, fucking quit.
yeah, no, I dropped out of culinary
It
school.
was like, fucking quit. He was like, you'll learn more working with me for the next 2 months than you will in 4 years of culinary school. He's like, fucking quit.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Save your
No,
money.
no,
I
no,
worked
no.
with that dude, and that dude was a beast. That dude, Chef Piero, he's like famous out here, dude. That dude's that dude taught me everything, dude. It's crazy.
No. She was straight up. She was like top of her class, and she was always like one of those like, oh well, you know, she'd show up and just be like, oh, I already know how to do all this. Like the only thing she didn't have down pat was her knife skills, which is just a practicing thing.
Yeah, that's all just on the job shit, you know,
Yeah.
repetition.
Yeah, I when I was working at the mill, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a leg up. I'm gonna go to culinary school. Got nothing but fucking harassed, fucking.
You go to the CSN one?
Out in North in
Cheyenne
campus was like it was like one of the best ones in the country,
Yeah,
right?
that's where I went.
Because they had chefs that were executive chefs were teaching the classes.
Was Chef Tom there?
Actually, my buddy had, I think, a guy named Chef Tom. I think that was my roommate. I had Chef Sugamelli,
Okay.
and he had like won this crazy award for making like a Parmesan crisp and like a sautéed fucking portobello mushroom and like a balsamic glaze, and it won him like a fucking like a $5,000 like
Nice.
recipe. It was like
Are you serious?
it was like barring like seasoning or some shit like that. It was like a 3-ingredient fucking like contest or some shit.
Yeah.
And like he just fucking crushed it on that.
Nailed it.
A Parmesan crisp. Like I work at a shitty burger joint right now, and that's something we do every day.
Yeah,
it
but
was-
not until he invented it.
Yeah.
It's got to be invented first. You know what I mean?
He I don't know exactly what he did, but the dude, the other chef, the guy that was at the time, for some reason Tom sounds familiar or rings a bell, but
He was there because he was
but
definitely there.
my roommate was in his class, and he was like, dude, the guy fucking sucks your fucking teacher's dick, dude. Like, you know what I mean? He's like he gives it up to Sugamelli. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, Chef Tom was I think he was the executive chef at MGM for a while, like for all the MGM properties, whatever.
Sugamelli was the executive chef over at the Luxor at the time.
Oh, wow.
And he was friends with Julian Serrano and like all these like heavyweight fucking dudes here
Yeah.
in town.
That's insane. It's weird because both my culinary heroes died this past year. Anthony Bourdain committed suicide, and then Joel Robuchon just passed away.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I met Joe Robuchon at his restaurant at the L'Atelier and at
Leia and
at MGM.
yeah, no, that was after I got married. I was like, look, we have to go here. And she agreed, but we didn't have the money. And her mom actually lent us the money, which was super awesome. I think it was like, after tip, it was like $800. Best meal of my life. I still remember most of it.
Would you go to the mansion or did you go to L'Atelier?
No, we went to Leia.
Leia?
Where's that at?
In MGM.
Okay.
That's the
L'Atelier?
French. No. Leia. That's the French pronunciation.
Leia, the workshop?
Yeah, the workshop of the...
I was always told it was L'Atelier. I don't know, Leia.
Silent T, bro.
All I know is when I worked with the French people, they'd be like, LA. Like, get the fuck out of my way when they're running behind you.
Oh, no, because I think that's ole.
Oh, I know, but they would be
It's funny you say, 'cause
LA.
We had this French dude wander in here one day, and he was looking for the outlet malls. And he was like trying to, and he was like, literally, he was like, oole, oole. And I was like, what the fuck are you saying, bro? And he was like, oole. And then he showed me on his phone. I was like, oh, outlet, bro. I was like, it's right there. I was like, just go left or just go, I was like, go left on Bonneville.
Go right across the tracks, dude.
Yeah, but he was like, oole. And I was like, bro, someone, I was like, I don't know what the fuck this dude's saying. Like, it was driving me crazy. And he just kept repeating it. Like, I just still can hear it. It was hilarious.
Or like how Target is Target because it's actually a French-owned company.
But you know what's funny is so we met Robichon there, and he comes in and he's walks right in behind me. I'm kind of standing. I have my friends right there, and my roommate, and he's just like, he starts smiling, and then his girlfriend at the time, she just gets completely starstruck. Completely can't even hold her fork, like just like, ooh, like fucking Jesus walked in. I turn around and I'm looking at this fucking fat fucking frog. You know, I'm just, it's just some fucking fat greasy Frenchman to me, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh, he's like, how's everything and stuff? And he shook our hands and stuff like that. And then they're all talking, and other people come over, and he's talking stuff like that. And you know, he hung out like right there and talked to everybody like right where we were. Like he came like right over to us and was talking stuff. And then you know, he scoots on, and I was like, that was cool. Met the guy. And you know, because I knew who it was, but you know, I was like, that's cool. And my fucking, I mean, I know who he is. Don't know like the extent of like who he is. And all I keep hearing, that's chef of the century. That's chef of the century. That's chef of the century. Oh my gosh. The whole fucking way home. I was like, dude, I fucking hate this guy.
Okay.
But I mean, an amazing fucking dude. Like,
Yeah, no.
And that's the guy that just passed away.
Yeah,
Yeah, he passed away.
He just
died.
probably just like heart attack or some shit.
no.
High blood pressure and fucking
He wasn't-
bad back and fucking terrible.
He's built like Mario Batali.
And alcoholism, like every chef on the planet.
Yeah. No,
Sans the sexual assault in the ponytail and the Crocs, he was kind of just thick in the middle.
What's his name? I gotta look this guy up.
Joel Robichon.
Yeah, Joel Robichon, Robuchuch.
And there's another Robichon chef, but
Seen him, yeah.
but that guy's like OG.
No.
Oh shit, he's chef of the century.
Yeah, no, he literally is chef of the century. For
1989.
anyone listening who knows how hard it is to get a Michelin star, between all of his restaurants, he had 28, which is insane. No one has had that many Michelin stars. He is. You
know what's funny is I was watching when I was a kid, I used to watch. I can't remember what channel it was. It was almost like a public access channel, but they do like world's greatest cuisines and greatest chefs. And I used to watch that, and I was watching this one, and there was a chef on there, and he was fucking intense, man. I mean, just intense, you know. And I was like, whoa, I can feel this dude through the TV, right? And cut to about, 12 years, 15 years later, and me and my roommate, he's studying some shit, and he puts in some fucking old school like cooking DVDs, and there was like these old shows, like these old like, you know, world's greatest chefs, world's greatest cuisines or whatever. And this one comes on, and I was like, yo, I've seen this before. I'm like, dude, I remember bugging out on this fucking guy because he was so intense, like, and just the way he talked, it's almost like when you listen to Vladimir Putin. He's very, very calm, but everything is
Dead serious.
Calm, quiet, but exact, like intense. Like you could just know, like this dude will fucking hit a smart bomb and we all blow up in a 10-meter radius. You know what I mean? Like the guy's like, nothing dies outside the 10 meters. You know, like fucking. And so, anyways, my buddy, my buddy, the guy who makes wine now, he goes, "Oh, dude, that guy committed suicide because he went from like a 3-star Michelin to he lost a Michelin star and he committed suicide over it."
No, that's a
And
big
I was
thing
like,
in the industry.
"Whoa!" And I was like, I got a good read of this dude being in fucking tents.
Yeah,
because
no.
you're committing suicide of losing a Michelin. I mean, dude.
That's fucking
Yeah,
nuts.
no.
But it is real deal. Michelin stars are
Yeah,
real deal.
no, like those. So the scale is 1 through 3. So if you make 3-star, you are borderline perfect. Mm-hmm. And so for them to demote you down to 2 is insane.
Got a bad Yelp review and they yanked a star away and dude fucking killed himself.
Well,
yeah, pretty much.
So the
But this is
crazy
before that.
thing about the Michelin system is nobody knows who is a member of the Michelin guide review, and nobody knows like when they come to the restaurant. Like they don't make their presence known. They come in very secretive, like fucking thieves in the night, and you just have to hope that you gave them your best, even though you didn't know they were coming. And you have no way to prepare for it other than to just be that fucking good.
It's the old white wine guys.
It's
Same guys.
no.
It's the fucking food and beverage
Yes,
conspiracy.
it's the fucking sommeliers,
It's the
dude.
food and
You don't
beverage
know.
Bilderberg fucking
It's the
foundation.
I will honestly say they are like
Bilderbergers.
they are 4 tiers above the sommelier racket. Like they are insane. Like if you get 3 Michelin stars, you've just become a rock star in the culinary world,
3 stars.
Oh, yeah.
and all eyes are on you.
How many levels on the sommelier thing?
4.
4 levels. Something's up.
It's a
conspiracy.
pyramid.
It's
bro.
simple numbers. It's simple numbers.
Something's up. Nope. There's no such thing as a simple number.
Well, all right, dude. Well, let's wrap this one up, man.
All right.
We were trying to. Dude, I'm surprised I didn't get a lot of hate mail from my broad. So, minimal hate mail. But
We
Jesse,
started like recording an hour late.
yeah, we did. That's true. But Jesse, I do appreciate you coming in and fucking and having a chat with us and fucking sharing the fucking different stuff with the vinos
Wines,
and.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I choked all mine down, dude. I can't believe you didn't. I think I need that because of all the fucking sun I got today.
Yeah.
be honest.
Got to rub a little bit on there.
Yeah, but dude, I appreciate you coming out over here, man. I know we're all over the place, dude, and I know everybody that's listening, if they even make it this far into this fucking deal, which surprisingly they do. Thanks, guys, very much for that. But yeah, man, thanks for coming. And I'd love to go down more. Like this is kind of like. You know, this kind of breaks up like the hardcoreness of everything.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Of life, you know.
I don't mind coming in and being your, little bit lighter of an air guy.
You're good at conversation too, so it's good.
Well, thank you.
We like that. I like that.
Good. No, if there's something else you guys want to talk about other than food and wine, I'm down to talk about that. I gave you a list of stuff you're interested in that I would feel comfortable talking about. Some of them barring a little bit of research, but I'm gonna plug myself real quickly here.
Please do, dude.
I'm just doing, basic dive bar or open mics right now in Vegas. I don't have a set routine or anything. Like I'm just whenever I'm available off of my regular job, I'm going to do these things. And that's saying a lot because I'm about to be working 2 jobs just to make ends meet because this economy is shit. So if you get a chance, come out and see me. The only one I'm trying to do regularly is dive bar on Monday nights, which I know is generally just
It's a shithole dive bar.
yeah, it's a shithole dive bar, but it gives me my 10 minutes, and then
One of my favorite fucking bartenders.
They give 10
works
minutes
there.
there?
yeah.
Wow. 10-minute sets?
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
unless
Maybe
you
it might get you out there.
Yeah,
It may
fuck,
get you
it's
out of the
fucking
house.
worth it.
unless you bomb, then they flash you and get you off the fucking stage as fast as possible.
Run the
Dude,
lights. see
one
what
of my
happens.
favorite fucking bartenders works there though. Stephanie, she's fucking great.
Oh yeah, no, she's wonderful.
Stefania,
Blonde chick.
blonde chick. She's
Piercings, tattoos.
Super tatted,
Tats-
tons
yeah,
of
yeah.
tattoos.
But she's just a great, genuine soul.
yeah,
you
no,
know.
no.
And she's got a 1,000-watt smile. So
And I wish she would have talked me out of vodka Red Bulls on my first night. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, vodka, Red Bulls. No, she's not gonna talk anybody out of it. But yeah, man. So you got what was your social media again? You're gonna get
Right now I'm only on Facebook. I'm gonna start up an Instagram because that's apparently what I need to do to stay hip and trendy with the fucking kids.
No, you just do you, dude. That's the only way things are really gonna work in life.
Just bring the funny.
Yeah,
just do you.
Well, the problem is like with just straight up my Facebook is all I'm doing is like sharing memes and articles, and occasionally I post something. So I figure if I'm on Instagram, I'm forced to be original and creative. So I will plug that if you guys have me back.
Yeah, dude, fire it away.
Yeah, so I'll get that set up at some point. It's just something I hadn't branched out into, and I feel like I'm obligated to either reprint all my business cards or just write on them with Sharpie.
No, just do your thing, man, and you just tell them that you're on there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just throw it out, and then the next batch just no sense in fucking doing the deal. But I was gonna say, man, you got your card up.
Yeah.
Boom, bam, easy deal. Joker. Yeah. Got the Joker on
there?
Yeah,
no.
Go for a brand. But
the fantastic thing is the Joker that's actually on the back of my business card. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. It's a reference to The Dark Knight when he goes, "Here's my card," and he pulls it out and it's a Joker, and it's actually the first Joker displayed in Batman, whatever the first appearance of Joker is. I think it's actually issue number 1.
This is him.
Yeah, that's the same Joker playing card.
Nice.
There you go.
The image. So hopefully DC doesn't sue me. That would be lovely because nothing tastes better than being sued.
Yeah. So fucking A. Jesse James, guys. Jesse James Graft. Find him over there on the fucking Facebook. That's where he's at. And yeah, man, we'll have you on the fucking game. We'll fucking do the rounds. Mikey.
Yo. Same old stuff, man. Mikey Sliman on Facebook. Easy_bail_bonds on Instagram. Catch me there.
Yeah, dude. You can catch me, Tresmala, on the fucking social medias all across the board. And then ThinkStopper on Instagram as well as YouTube. But pretty much Instagram. That's the only place where like it hasn't even got its own Twitter, but I'm not really a big Twitter guy and shit, dude. I don't know. We're going to figure this all out. We're going to get, like, all nice and packaged. But, dude, episode 20, fucking going down the bottle. Boo, bam. Thank you so much, guys. Peace.